Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. I hope you had a great Father's Day weekend, whether you are a father, a child, or a wife, aunt, mother, sister, brother, whatever it is. I hope you had a great Father's Day weekend. And we have a lot to talk about. But before we begin talking about it, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. The Knicks offseason is right around the corner. We have 3 days. 3 days into the NBA draft. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you can get notified anytime I'm live. Drop a video. Post in my community section. Make sure you do that for me, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. We got a video chat building up. Right? Video chat building up. And we should have some real good discussions tonight, folks. A lot of stuff to talk about. But before I even get there, I just want to make a plea. I'm going to take these off for a second. I'll get back to them. I just want to make a plea for all Knicks fans. Please, let's take it easy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take it easy. People are starting to panic, beginning to panic. Get a little bit nervous about the offseason. People already feel as though people are already putting us to bed for this offseason. Already putting us to bed. Max Kellerman has got me fired up. Guy's getting on my nerves. Just listening to him today on First Take, and he literally had me fired up. The guy's really getting on my nerves. Max, take it easy on the Knicks, man. Just because you betrayed us, and now you're a Lakers fan, take it easy on these New York Knicks. Take it easy on us, man. It's really firing me up. And I know I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Please, please, please chill out with this Brooklyn Nets taking over the city stuff. It's craziness, man. It's craziness. Look, the Nets have been trying to take over New York City for the last 5 to 10 years or whatever it is. They've been trying. It's not happening. It's not happening. They brought in KG, Paul Pierce, Darren Williams. They brought in Jason Kidd. Jay-Z. Still didn't happen. Still this year, as they were a playoff team, they were last in the league in attendance. The Knicks were 9th. As a matter of fact, the Knicks would have 30 to 40% of the fans at the Barclays Center. Come on, man. You're killing me with this stuff. It's crazy. There's no way. I don't care who the Nets get. They can get whoever they want. It's never going to be a Brooklyn Nets town. They will forever and always be the little brothers. Get used to it. They will always be the little brothers. If there's Brooklyn Nets fans watching, don't be mad about it. It's okay to be the little brother. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. I got a younger brother. You know what I'm saying? And wherever we go, people know him as my little brother, my younger brother. You know, when we get into circles of people that he knows, oh, that's Sims. That's Matt's older brother. That's my brother's name. His name is Matt. That's Matt's older brother. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes in life. So, Nets, Joseph C., you're right. The Nets are better than the Knicks. They are better than the Knicks right now. Not the Nets, the Knicks. That's okay. That's cool. They can be better. It happens that way. But they never will own the city. Not the way that the New York Knicks do. Not the way that the orange and blue owns the city. So Nets fans, New Jersey Nets fans, Brooklyn Nets fans, whatever, whoever you are, keep that in mind. All right? Keep that in mind. Just remember it and we cool. That's all you got to do. Is remember it. And don't forget it. And Max Kellerman, close your mouth. Stop talking, man. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself because you're talking nonsense. But let's start off this conversation by the most obvious thing that happened this weekend and talk a little bit about the big trade. Big trade that went down this weekend. Anthony Davis traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And look, I don't know if you're hurt, but I'm not. Doesn't really bother me. As a matter of fact, if you remember a stream ago, maybe 2 streams ago, I said, I want Anthony Davis to go ahead and be traded to the Lakers. Kevin Durant to let everyone know that he's going to re-sign with the Golden State Warriors. Right? I said that. It's on record. You can go back and find it somewhere if you want to. It's on record. I said it. There's a reason why I said it. Because I don't want all this. I want the Knicks to make the right moves. That's it. That's why. So I was happy that Anthony Davis was traded to the Lakers. I was not looking forward to him being a New York Knick. If Kevin Durant was healthy and the Knicks were really going to try to sign Kevin Durant and he was going to come to the Knicks, and I will say that I did speak with somebody over the weekend that gave me very good indications that Kevin Durant, for all intents and purposes, really was considering coming to the Knicks. And so Aunt G, who is in the video chat, has been saying all along he really feels it. You were probably right in all the rumors that were out there. I mean, I'm not breaking any news, obviously. All the rumors that were out there, definitely correct. At least from, I'm not going to say who that spoke. But anyway, if we knew for sure that Kevin Durant was going to be in the fold, he was going to be a Knick, then I would have felt some kind of way about Anthony Davis going to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think it would have, well, I'm not going to say I don't think it would have happened. I think that the Knicks would have made a bigger push for Anthony Davis if Kevin Durant was healthy and definitely coming to the Knicks. But with the way things are now, I was happy. I'm not going to lie. I was like, good. They gave up Brandon Ingram, the Lakers did, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, 3 first-round draft picks. And that includes the 2019 number 4 draft pick. That's what the Lakers gave up to acquire Anthony Davis. The Los Angeles Lakers now have $23 to $24 million in cap space, as long as this deal is completed by July 6th, which I'm pretty sure the Pelicans have every intention to make sure that this deal is completed on the first day that deals can be completed. So that leaves the Los Angeles Lakers with about $24 million to try to fill another free agent slot. The talk is that they're going after Kemba Walker. Maybe Jimmy Butler. I've seen that maybe they're going to try to get Kawhi Leonard. Basically, they're trying to build another super team in the West. Once again, LeBron James gets what he wants. Did we expect anything else? No. LeBron James always gets what he wants. Right? Always gets what he wants. So we'll see how that whole thing shapes up. Now, it's not all etched in stone that Anthony Davis is going to re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. I know he has said that the Lakers are a team that he will re-sign with long term. It doesn't mean he's going to. It means that they are a team that he will re-sign with. There's a difference between the two. A clear difference between the two. I'm pretty sure if everything goes well, when he becomes a free agent, he'll re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. Or, I guess he has an opt-out next year, whatever it is. He'll re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers for maximum money, and the rest will go from there. If things do not go well and there's drama around the Lakers and all this crazy stuff, then you never know what could happen, right? You never know. But I'm not putting my heart into anything. I'm just saying it's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers, at least not yet. At least not yet. Now, how does Anthony Davis being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, how does that impact the NBA, and how does it impact the New York Knicks? Well, let's start with the NBA. There's a big impact on the NBA, right? You have a new number one team in the West, at least right now, at least the way that people are seeing it. Let's see what happens during the season and how chemistry and all that stuff begins to build. But right now, people are looking and saying that the Los Angeles Lakers have 3-1 odds to win the NBA championship. That's what Las Vegas says. Let's see what happens when the regular season begins. The Boston Celtics. Let's start with them. Where do they go? What happens to them now? They've been a power in the East for a few years, for a while. Everybody thought with the way that Danny Ainge collected assets that they were going to be able to really put together a monstrous team. And they tried to. They brought in Kyrie Irving. They thought they were going to be able to bring in Anthony Davis and really have a superpower. Didn't happen. So now where did the Celtics go? Because it seems pretty clear that Kyrie Irving is going to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. So now what the Celtics do? How do they restock? How do they I don't want to say rebuild. They need a point guard. Or do they settle in on Terry Rozier? I mean, with Terry Rozier at the helm, they did go to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago. Do they settle in on Rozier? Do they look into that free agent market? D'Angelo Russell's on the market. Ricky Rubio's on the market. I think they may have some interest in D'Angelo Russell. I don't think Ricky Rubio is going to be the guy that they'll be choosing, in my opinion. But D'Angelo Russell is on the market. What happens to the Celtics? It changes the Celtics. The New Orleans Pelicans. They have, you talk about a team with a future ahead of them. A team with young, bright stars. They've got the number one pick in Zion Williamson. At least he's the consensus number one pick. You got Zion probably going to the Pelicans. 99.9% sure he's going to the Pelicans. They've got the number 4 pick. Now they have Brandon Ingram. Now they have Lonzo Ball. You would think that they'll probably try to re-sign Julius Randle. They also have Drew Holiday. So they have the makings of a pretty young team. An exciting team. I mean, what's it going to look like with Lonzo Ball coming down, throwing oops to Zion Williamson? So they should be exciting to watch. And who knows what's going to happen with the number 4 pick? They got the number 4 pick. They can try to trade that number 4 pick for a star, which is something that they've been shooting around, something they would like to do. I think Bradley Beal has come up in a few conversations. Or they can go ahead and pick with it. If they lose Julius Randle, maybe they want to try to get a 4-man. Maybe they take a shot at someone like DeAndre Hunter, who's a 3. Still. Who knows? But the Pelicans are going to be young. They're going to be exciting. They got a ton of draft picks coming. The NBA shifted. And then, of course, we have our New York Knicks. How does it impact the Knicks? Well, at least from the fans' perspective, and if you watched my last video, you heard a lot of this stuff already. But at least from the fans' perspective, we now know that the Knicks are not trading that number 3 pick. It's staying in New York, and it's most likely going to be R.J. Barrett. I guess there's a chance that the Memphis Grizzlies will draft R.J. Barrett at number 2. But I think, for the most part, R.J. Barrett is going to be a New York Knick. How else does it impact the Knicks? Well, it makes free agency a little bit tougher. There's a little bit more competition now. Because with AD joining LeBron James in Los Angeles, some of these free agents are going to look at LA and say, yeah, I think I may want to take my chances there. I want to see what that's all about. Right? I want to see if I can go to LA and win me a championship. So it puts a little bit more pressure. Not pressure, I'm sorry. That's the wrong word. It puts a little bit more competition out there for the New York Knicks when it comes to free agency. You know, if the Knicks, we've read, we've seen, we've heard that the Knicks are interested in Kemba Walker. Well, the Los Angeles Lakers are interested in Kemba Walker too. Right, so if the Knicks were truly interested in Kemba Walker and really considered signing Kemba Walker, they'd have competition with the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. If they were interested in Jimmy Butler, there'd be competition from the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm not saying that the Knicks are interested in these guys. Well, Kemba Walker, there may be some interest there. I'm not sure about Jimmy Butler. I don't think that the Knicks are interested in Jimmy Butler. Right? But there's more competition there. And then, of course, as we were discussing earlier, it maybe takes Anthony Davis off the board in the future when it comes to future free agency. I'm not saying that that's 100% though. Because it may not be. May not be. So I'm not going to say that that's 100%. All right. So I got a video chat built up, ladies and gentlemen. I got Big Freezy. I got Isaiah. I got Who's Mark. We got Ronald back in the building. I ain't seen him in a while. We got Nate. We got Aunt G. I mean, we got the whole gambit. And we got the whole gambit of guys in the chat room. And Guillermo, here he is. Funny guy. So let's get to the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk to these guys. I want to know what these guys think about the Anthony Davis trade. How is it impacting the NBA? How is it impacting the New York Knicks? All right, so let's talk to these folks here. And I'm gonna start off with Who's Mark. I'm gonna start off with Who's Mark.
Yo, Mark's coming to you.
Because I know Who's Mark. He wasn't here the last stream. I don't know if it's, what's going on. I'm pretty sure his heart was hurting over the weekend. Hey, Mark, what's good, man?
Yo, Sim.
What's up? What's up with you, bro?
Please believe I'm not even upset. I've been happy the last couple of days.
You've been happy. All right.
Because what the Lakers did was like suicidal, because now they're banking on LeBron being as good as, some people thought he was last year. Some people thought he was last year. So Anthony Davis, right? He's going to sign an extension. Please believe it. When I heard when you said He's not going to sign the extension. He's going to sign it.
I didn't say he wasn't going to sign the extension. I said it's not a done deal until it's done. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not a done deal. It's not a done deal until it's done. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going to happen. He's not signing an extension. He's going to be a free agent. Then he's going to sign. So he's not signing an extension. He's going to be a free agent anyway. And Mark, we're talking to your ear right now, man.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
So I'm glad the Knicks didn't trade, because when I looked at what the Lakers gave up, the reason why the Lakers gave all that up, because they thought they was in competition with someone else. And I don't think there was no other competition. So the Lakers just gave up everything, because I guess Griffin used Boston as a bait, like they're going to give him Tatum. So they forced LA to do what they did. But I don't think that Tatum was even up for grabs, because they knew Anthony Davis was not going to stay. That's the whole thing. People don't think Anthony Davis is going to stay. So in that case, I'm glad the Knicks didn't do that, because I looked at the Knicks money for 2020 and what is available, what we have. And we're going to be in a great space with salary cap if they sign players to these 1+ deals for this year and nothing else. Get competitive guys. Don't sign them no multi-years. Don't do it yet. Because I still want to sign Kevin Durant and keep him here for 1 year. He's still on my list. Keep him for 1 year. Keep him for that 1 year. Sign him. Go ahead and sign him. But then take all these bad contracts like the Bucks. Bucks is giving up a #1 pick. If we take Ilyasova, that's a first round, 30 round. We could do that. I want to take all the nonsense contracts that teams do not want, and there's plenty of teams. I was going down teams today, and there's plenty of teams that just want to get off salary cap, and we're the team to do it. So I think we're in a good spot. I know you're talking about D'Angelo Russell, bro. I want next year to be a clean slate so the Knicks could choose whoever they want in 2020, because
who is a free agent in 2020? Who's a free agent in 2020?
Who's a free agent?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we're talking about so we can get whoever's there. Who is there?
I would have to see that, but I can't tell you at this moment. But next time I come back, I will tell you who's the thing. But what we can do, Sim, we have our picks still, and there's gonna be a star out there in 2020. Be like, you know what? I don't want to be here no more. So we're gonna be lurking next year. That's how I feel. We're gonna be lurking for the next guy.
All right, let me tell you who's out there in 2020. Let me tell you who's out there. You got Kyle Lowry, Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, Al Horford, DeMar DeRozan, Otto Porter Jr. If Anthony Davis opts out, he'll be a free agent. Andre Drummond can opt out.
No, I don't.
Hassan Whiteside, Nicholas Batum, Harrison Barnes, Chandler Parsons, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka, Gallinari, Ryan Anderson, Jabari Parker, Jeff Teague, George Hill, maybe Kawhi Leonard, maybe Kyrie Irving, depending on what happens if they did a one-on-one, but they're probably not going to be free agents. Derek Favors, Alan Crabb, Bismack Biyombo, Tim Hardaway, Kent Bazemore, Evan Turner, Goran Dragic, Evan Fournier, Draymond Green, Tristan Thompson, Reggie Jackson, Andre Iguodala, Timothy Mozgov.
God, that's horrible.
There's nobody that we want in free agency in 2020. There's nobody there.
Now that you said that, that's a horrible. But like I said,
yeah, it's a terrible crop of players.
Most of them are old.
There's a terrible crop of players coming out in 2020. There's nobody.
So how you feel? How you feel about the Anthony Davis trade? Well, you did say it.
I mean, I'm glad. Listen, I was, unless we knew we had Kevin Durant in the bag. If we had Kevin Durant in the bag and he's healthy, I was like, okay, you know what? We make that trade because you gotta build around Kevin Durant. You're gonna be in win now mode. I get it, right? But now, given what happened with Kevin Durant, I wasn't for that trade.
Yo,
I wasn't for it.
LeBron destroyed the Lakers after what they gave up. It's not even, people got to understand something. This free agent class that we're in right now, this is the next crop of stars that's going to get signed to these deals long term. And then when you look at the free agent roster, the only significant two is Ben Simmons and Giannis. So what the trade did for the Lakers, it ruined, if say if LeBron just lost his powers and it's just AD and whoever he's with, I don't think AD played with enough force to dominate, not say carry the team, but to dominate the way he needs to dominate. And that put the Lakers, giving up all those picks. They gave up the next 5 years of their future.
Yeah, I know. Listen,
another 5, Sim.
Listen, it has to work right now for the Lakers. If it does not work right now for the Lakers, it's trouble. It's trouble. It has to work right now, man.
I think that's worse what Boston did to the Nets. I really do.
You know why? You know why I disagree with what Boston with that? It's because at least Anthony Davis is young, and he hasn't even reached. At least we think he hasn't reached the peak of his powers yet.
Yeah.
What Boston and Brooklyn did, I mean, the Nets got back an old KG, an old Paul Pierce. That was just horrible.
No, I'm talking about, all right. Say if LeBron, right? Say if LeBron didn't play, right? Say if LeBron didn't play next after his contract is done and they still got AD signed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the free agents that are going to go there and play with them? How are they going to make trades when they gave up all their future picks to even to get, disgruntled players from other teams? That's what they did.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They can't make no outside move. Right now, they're banking on this free agent class right now.
Well, this is the crop. This is the crop. And listen, I understand that we're going to talk a little bit later about D-Lo and Julius Randle. I understand what you're saying. I get it. We wouldn't be waiting until 2020, though, because there's nobody coming out in 2020.
Oh, no,
we'd be waiting until maybe 2021 or something like that. But right now, this is one of the best, if not the best, free agent crop ever. You have superstars, and then you have young guys who could possibly be stars in the future. I'm going to kind of talk to you about, my idea and what my vision is, because we have a ton of money and we have a ton of money. And so we can really be smart, you know what I mean, in the way that we do things. Let me get around. I want to hear what MF Doom. I want to hear what MF Doom thinks about this trade. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming to MF Doom in a second. Let me just make a quick announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You get a notification anytime I go live, drop a video. You're going to want to stay updated with everything happening with the Knicks, and I got you all summer long. I promise you that. Got you all summer long. We're going to get back, talk to MF Doom. Subscribe to the channel, and then you better get back, talk to MF Doom. It's not the real MF Doom, by the way.
Whoa. Sim, watch yourself.
MF Doom. What's good, Guillermo, man?
Yo,
Came on with the MF. Let me blow up his picture so you can see his MF Doom, Matt. MF Doom is Guillermo's favorite rapper.
Whoa. Nas is my favorite rapper.
Okay, Nas, my bad. Nas is his favorite rapper. MF Doom is in his top 5. Right?
Shit, you just too much disrespect, man.
I'm just stating the facts. That MF Doom is in your top 5.
How you doing, Sam? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing, man? I had a good weekend.
I'm chilling, man. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All that. But yeah, I saw when I saw this AD trade, man, all the conspiracy theory stuff I had in my head about the draft, them trying to help out LeBron James, man. Like, come on, Sim. Come on. You got to be kidding me. So the Pelicans get the draft, the #1 draft pick, and then they pull off this trade. They get Dan Gilbert in because the previous GM was like, nah, we're not going to help out a Western Conference competitor. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just seems like some BS to me. But you know what? Look, I would think that people would take the Toronto approach or even the Warriors approach and try to build more organically, have the right role players and blah, blah, blah. But look at the Lakers. They're in turmoil. Their ownership is in turmoil. If they want to go and play AD and LeBron and Kuzma and literally have nothing else really around and maybe some other role players, let them do them. Let them fail. This is beautiful theater for us, man. We have, like I said before, this is God's way of saying, Knicks, chill out. Now let the chaos go to everyone else. Because that team, as good as AD was with the Pelicans, to me, he's not a leader. That was a team that they got to the second round last year. They beat the Blazers, right? And they probably, I don't know what the odds were at the time, but they beat the Blazers, got to the Warriors, whatever it is. And AD is like, I'm not going to re-up. Let me just try to force my way out. So he's not a leader. And once he becomes a spot-up shooter with LeBron, a guy who's also not going to be playing defense, who's not as quick as he was anymore, is going to be hilarious. And so the only thing that I think that the way I think that how this affects us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how the Pelicans want to go, if the Pelicans want to sit there at 4 and take a guy like Garland, then and I, I'm not saying we go after this. Is a big contract, but if we feel comfortable, maybe foregoing moving past Damian Lillard next year, do we look into getting a guy like Drew Holiday, very underrated, good defender, was putting up similar stats and efficiencies to the guys that everyone likes, like Kemba Walker, but he gets no acclaim because he's with the Pelicans. Do we go out and build a guy who can come and build our culture? These are the type of guys that, yeah, they may not be good the back end of the contract, but the first 2-3 years, or I don't know how long he has left on the Pelicans contract, a guy who plays defense, can give you tough buckets, can defend the best point guards in the league. Is that a guy you want to build with? Everyone's scared of D'Lo. I'm not so big on Kyrie anymore. People are not so big on Kyrie. I'm not either. So these are things like, do if they want to take a rebuild plan and they want to shut off salary from that Pelicans team, do we go after a guy like Drew Holiday? So windfalls like this sometimes benefit us. And then also with the Julius Randle thing, this is a guy who's improved. I'm telling you, that Lakers team before LeBron came, they only had 33 wins, but you saw Julius Randle growing. You saw Ingram. There was a nice chemistry going amongst those kids outside of D'Angelo Russell because of what he did, blah, blah. But, Julius Randle, this sounds crazy. I wouldn't give him the max, obviously, but if this is a guy who take anywhere from 12 to 15 million a year,
mm-hmm.
give you a strong guy in the front court, a guy who can score in the front court, which we haven't had really in a while. I know you could say Cantor and stuff, but a guy who's developing a better array of moves. I'm not going to say a better array of moves, Cantor, but a decent array of moves for a power forward is developing. The average this year, a career high, 21 points, 8 rebounds. Is this a guy that you want to build with, a guy who's going to bring you the defensive tenacity along with Mitchell Robinson? Now you have a strong front court, and you don't have to force yourself to so-called play Frank or whatever. Now you have defensive stalwarts on your team. These are the type of guys that you look up and they're always on a playoff team or a championship team because they're these type of young guys or guys who fit a role perfectly. So I'm not averse to picking off some of these guys that come off in the Pelicans. So thank God for the AD trade because that's just ratings, but I don't think they're going to really do much.
And listen, I agree with you 100% about the windfall of that trade. If I'm the Knicks, I want to get in on something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want to try to get in on something. There may be something there, and Drew Holiday could be. He could become available. I think that the Pelicans probably want to keep him and try to have him in there with the young guys. He's under contract until 2022.
Okay.
Right. He made $26 million this year. He makes $26 million next year. $26 million in 2020-21 and $27 million in 2021-22.
Forget it. My bad. I didn't know his contract was that high. My bad.
But you know what? Here's the one thing. So many people keep looking at the contracts of players.
Right.
But we're in this era now where it's like these guys are making money that we haven't seen before. You know what I mean? So we look and we be like, oh, this guy's making $28 million. And, the salary cap keeps going up and up and up. The NBA is making more money. Look, Zion Williamson is coming into the league. Next year's salary cap is even going to be higher because he's going to generate more income for the NBA.
So,
right?
Sim, is that a guy? So if you're looking at Drew Holiday, right, you look at your options, right? At the bottom, or I guess I don't say the bottom. I'm not trying to issue on these guys, but the bottom, you have the guys like Kadeem Allen who are on your team, DSJ, right? Are these guys, Sim, when you look at how Fizzo runs his team, do you think do you think that those guys, I like Kadeem Allen a lot, but do you think that DSJ could be the point guard of the future? Is that a guy you see in 2-3 years developing into something? Or do you think that it's Damian Lillard, who, through Stephen A. Smith, allegedly said that, he wanted to come to New York badly, blah, blah, blah. And this was before he made the Western Conference Finals. But, there's a guy who, he's a superlative talent. He's not necessarily a true point guard, not as good defensively as Drew Holiday, but you're going to pay him the max, and he's going to give you great numbers. Or you pick from a Drew Holiday, or even a D'Lo. I look at these guys, and
I feel like, and this is what I'm gonna talk about D'Lo and Julius Randle. I feel like in this year's group of players that are free agents, we have enough money, given the situation, where you can kind of be like, you can look at some young players that are really up and coming, on their way to possibly becoming stars, maybe, and say, you know what, I'm willing to give these guys a reasonable contract because they are up and coming stars, and if we get in now, then their contract will be valuable in the future. It's almost like what they were trying to do with Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. was the wrong guy to do it with, in my opinion. That was the idea of Steve Mills when giving Tim Hardaway the contract. He thought that Tim Hardaway was on the verge to being maybe an all-star type of a player, right? So he gave him a contract making $17, $18 million a year, thinking that he's going to be an all-star and we're going to have a guy, we're going to have a valuable, he's going to be valuable, right? Because he's going to be playing above his contract. That's the type of thing the Knicks probably should be looking at. Players like D'Lo and Julius Randle, to me, kind of fit that bill.
And that's what I was talking about before, Sim, is like, and I know you're talking about the contracts, right? But when I look at certain players, right, you look at, like, even back then, you look at a guy like Chauncey Billups. He comes in, he changes your culture, right? He brings accountability. He's a point guard who's going to carry a team on his back. This is after, the Pistons and the Nuggets, and even when he had a little time in the Knicks. When I look at a guy like D'Lo, right, I know it's 1 year, and I'm scared of D'Lo, but the way those Brooklyn Nets were playing around him, I didn't feel a sense of, oh, I'm trying to get mine, D'Lo's taking on spotlight. And I understand some of these guys aren't premier players, but that team played around him, and it didn't feel fake, right? When I look at Drew Holiday, you're talking about a two-way player that, I'm sorry, on the biggest stage against Dame Lillard, he made people question whether Dame Lillard was a star in his league. Like, damn, like, when is Dame Lillard going to win a play? Like, what is wrong with it? Drew Holiday made him look that bad. And Drew Holiday gets he's as weird. His contract is huge, but he's underrated. So, and Julius Randle, this is another guy I'm telling you, that Lakers team, go back. That team was they had chemistry. They were playing well together. I know it was only 33 wins, whatever, but they seemed to gel. And I feel like Julius Randle is a type of guy, the energy guy, the type of guy that him and Mitchell, they would make guys accountable at team. They see Knox slacking off, or they see, any of these younger players just not giving it all. I feel like he would get it in their face. Like him and Mitch, they would be the defensive identity of that team. And you bring a guy like R.J. Barrett who wants to be here, and R.J. Barrett is what he says he is. Come on, Sim. Like that's how I look at his acquisitions. But I know you got other people to talk to, so
yeah. I'll get you. That'd be Mitch and Julius be the modern day Patrick and Oakley, maybe.
Hey,
As far as,
Hey,
kind of enforcing and leading the team, who knows? Some people will say I'm reaching real far, but I might be. I'm
no,
just saying. I'm
Julius
just
Randle.
saying.
See how he played with that Lakers team, and like he has those guys they galvanized around him. Like, and Julius Randle, this is a guy who lost weight, gained muscle, did all that stuff. So he's a guy. His word is his bond. Like he doesn't. I don't think he plays around. And look, this year, I mean, I understand the Pelicans weren't doing great, but he put up career numbers. He didn't slack off on that team. So I'm just saying the Knicks want to look at him and go to him before a contender gets at him. Hey, that's a guy who built your culture, man.
Exactly. Let me get over here to Ron Cleveland because I haven't seen Ron Cleveland in a minute. It's been a while since he's been around. So let me get to Ron. Let me see what's going on. And he's arguing with somebody, but somebody let Ron know I'm coming to him live. Ron Cleveland, what's going on, man? Big Ron, what's up with you, baby?
Up,
How you been?
Man?
I'm good. How you been?
Man, hey, I've been chilling, man, chilling. You know, a lot of stuff been going on with my son with that football stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I mean, he gonna have to wait his 2 years before he get a chance to go. So that's been taking up a lot of my energy, man. And you know what I mean? So that's what's going on, man.
All right.
I've been listening. I just ain't been able to get on.
Okay. All right. So tell me then, how you feeling about this whole thing with Anthony Davis?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Let me disable some of these sounds, man, so I can hear you clear.
Yeah. Knock some of them guys out of there.
So you asked me how I feel about the whole AD situation?
Yep. How you feel about the AD situation, the impact on the Knicks, and tell me how you feel about the Knicks offseason, because we're about to get into some salary cap stuff in a minute.
Sam, I'm happy. I'm happy we didn't make that trade, man. And from all reports, they're saying New York wasn't that serious about making that trade. They weren't including Mitch. They weren't including Knox. That lets me know that they weren't that serious about getting him. And I don't blame them, man, because we done been through this before with the whole Melo. I love the fact we had got Melo. I wish we would have waited till the end of the season. It's the same situation with AD. And the crazy thing is with AD situation, but what LA gave up, they were crazy. Because I saw a report on it. Bill Simmons was talking about it. The Lakers, even with how their season going to go, regardless, they'll have to. New Orleans still reserve the right to swap picks with them. The picks are unprotected. That's crazy. LeBron is getting older. He's on the other side of 30. You don't get better as you get older. That's the craziest thing, especially in the sport of basketball. And once you done had a significant injury like that groin, look how long it took him to come back from that. It's the beginning and the end for him, man. The clock is ticking. Father Time is undefeated. I'm glad we didn't touch that. The Lakers were bidding against themselves, and that was a stupid trade. That was a stupid trade on their part. They gave up all their future flexibility. It reminds me every bit of the Brooklyn and Boston trade with KG and them guys, man. Of course, KG and them was a little bit older, but it has all the earmarks of that trade. The Lakers are going to be in trouble for the next 4 to 5 years behind that trade. They're not winning a title within the next 2 or 3 years. You can can that. If that trade was done and them guys were in the East, they would have a better chance. But out in the West, no way. No way.
Yep. I feel you on that one, man. I feel you on that. All right, so how you feeling about the Knicks offseason, man?
I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I hear a lot of guys talking about D'Angelo Russell. Hey, Sam, you know the point guard position, man. That dude is 21-7. And what I like about his 21-7 is within the floor of the offense. He don't break the offense. You look up at the score, you look at the box score, and you're like, wow, he got 21 points, 7 assists. It's a quiet 21-7. It's not breaking the offense. He's still getting other people involved. It's different from a Kyrie 21-7. You know what I mean? And you still, the thing is with D'Angelo, you don't have to give him max dollars. You can get him for the cheap because if they make the move to go to Kyrie, they're going to have to rescind him. And when you rescind him, now he's going to want to play against them. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe.
So he might take less to stay in New York just so he can play against Brooklyn. 4 times a year.
He might, or go to Boston.
I don't see him going to Boston. I think he would stay right in New York just so he can play Brooklyn. And the timeline is great because he's only, 20, 23, 24?
23 years old. 23 years old.
The timeline
23.
is great. Even for Julius Randle, you get them guys, and I would say both of them, I wouldn't give no more than maybe 55 to 60. You don't give neither one of them a max deal. No. But you give them about a max deal so far as dollars-wise at about 55 to 60 million. That's it. You don't do no 100 million with them guys. You still got money left. And the thing people fail to realize, we still got all these draft picks. 7 in the next 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
You still got your flexibility there. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy we got Perry. I'm happy, man. Perry was not going to let them guys try to drag us with no trade. And that's one thing we all should be happy about. And all these reports talking about the Knicks lost the AD trade, that's the dumbest thing I done heard.
Man, all these reports, man. You know the media. They just want to drag the Knicks, right? They want to drag the Knicks. Run the Knicks name through the mud. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
And Sim, man, hey, I wish somebody would slap Max Kellerman. I'm getting sick. And I don't know how Stephen A. put up with him, man. Every word come out this dude's mouth. He talking about the Knicks this and Knicks that and Knicks that. Man, get out of here, man. He's a clown. He's a clown.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let me get around. Let me get around. I'm gonna come to one more person, and I'm gonna be back to you, Ron. I'm gonna come to one more person, and then I'm going to get to the salary cap stuff. And I'm gonna ask you guys to do me a favor. See, a lot of you guys just have your name. It just says guest. Could you go into the appearing and just put your name in? Right, okay. It doesn't take that long. It's not that hard. That way, people know who they are, who you are when we're talking and stuff like that. Because we got some new people that's joining us nightly, and I want to make sure that they know who you are. So anyone who joins the appearing, make sure that you have your name and all that stuff up there, right? So if anybody that doesn't have the name, if you guys can't hear me, can you guys do me a favor? Tell everybody to put their name on the appearing. All right, Nate, what's good, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up,
Doing
man?
Good, man.
Yeah, so
no, man, I'm listening to talk. Y'all are talking about Randle and Russell.
Well, we didn't really get to that yet. Some people kind of jumped in. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit later. Yeah. Just really looking for your feedback on how that Davis trade impacts the Knicks. Then we're gonna get and look at some salary cap.
Yeah, I mean the trade, honestly, it wasn't a surprise to me. LA was on the forefront for this deal, because the Knicks, according to a lot of sources, were not willing to part with Mitch Robinson. They weren't even, I don't even think they were willing to include Knox. So, I give the Knicks credit for standing pat, not panicking. When have you seen our organization ever, not make a knee-jerk reaction? And I feel like this regime really is taking the approach, like they've said over and over again, that they're not going to rush things. They're not going to do this one-hit wonder thing. They're going to really build this team from the ground up, and I applaud them. Like, when I heard that the Knicks didn't get Davis, I'm like, good. I mean, because you look at what they gave up. I mean, you literally would have had to give up the whole farm just to get this one guy. And let's be honest, there's no guarantee he resigns.
Well, yeah, that's the truth. There's no guarantee, man. No guarantee that he resigns.
And but just a real quick point. I like the, you did mention before the show started that you would give, $20 million to Randle and Russell a piece, and you still have about $30 million left in free cap space.
Yeah. Don't blow my cover, man. We didn't get there yet. Don't blow my cover. Blowing my cover. You're blowing my cover.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. My bad.
Let me get to a phone call. These guys gonna blow my cover. See how we do? Let me get to a phone call. And me and my guest on the line, we're going to talk some salary cap. Hey, Tony Crow, what's good?
What's going on, Sim? Shout out to the chat. Yo, Blackest Time.
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. Ron Cleveland, what up? Long time no see.
Yeah. Nice to see Ron back in the chat with us, man. Nice to see him back in the chat. So since we last spoke, the last
happy
time.
Father's Day, my brother.
Oh, appreciate it. Happy Father's Day to you as well, my man. The last time me and Tony Crow spoke, we were doing a podcast for the NBK podcast, the VIP members podcast. And, you know, if you want to be able to check out that podcast, you can go to my website, Nothinbutknicks.com, and become a VIP member. And you can check out the podcast. But so the last time we spoke, we were covering the podcast, right? And since then, and what was that? Was that Friday night? I think it was.
That was after the stream. Yep.
After the stream, Friday night, we did the podcast. And the next day, Anthony Davis was traded. Right? Craziness, right?
Yeah.
How you feel about it?
I'm happy it's over and done with. I think they're gonna be all right over there in LA. So I'm focused with the Knicks. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? It was a strong move. I think that's the best player LeBron's played with. People argue D Wade, but at 7 foot, you know what I mean? That's an advantage that D Wade didn't have.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, it's going to be LeBron's team. There's no doubt about it. But soon, very soon, depending on how long Anthony Davis stays there, it'll be Anthony Davis's team, right? How do you think this whole thing is going to work? Because LeBron is going to be passing the torch to Anthony Davis, basically. At least for the Los Angeles Lakers, he's going to be passing the torch. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know. Do you think this thing is going to work? They're going to be good by virtue of talent, but is it going to work to a championship?
I think so. I think it could. I think they could win this year. Honestly, it's gonna bring out the best in AD in the sense that if he's a closer and if he's the alpha that I think he is, LeBron's gonna bring it out of him. LeBron's a pass first guy anyway, and he makes the right play more so than the selfish play. So, yeah, I think if LeBron is still LeBron, it's gonna bring the best out of AD. He's gonna get to be the knight in shining armor, the closer like Kyrie was.
Yeah.
So I think it could work.
Okay.
Obviously the front office got to do a better job than last year and just put shooters behind them. I could see a guy like JJ Redick signing there and and being a big impact. Won't cost as much. I don't think they really go after another A tier free agent. I could see D'Lo going there only because he's in their price range because I think they got like $23 million. They could go up to 29 if the Pelicans do the trade after the 29th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah. So you know, I mean, you know, the trade, you know, has some ancillary implications on the New York Knicks, but not as much. We're gonna get really try to dive deep into, you know, basically, you know, what really is the topic of this show. Even though we talked about 40 minutes about the Lakers and all of that, but you know, we really didn't have a chance to discuss it. But we're gonna go ahead and get into talking about the Knicks and look at their salary cap situation right now. All right, right now, 2019, 2020. And I know we go over the salary cap a lot, but for those who are new, you know, you may not. And we're getting ready to talk about some stuff, so I just want to make sure we're clear about the salary cap. So right now, the Knicks these are the guaranteed contracts for the New York Knicks right now. Joakim Noah is still on the books. We're still paying that man $6.4 million a year. And he's on the books until 2022 with that $6.4 million. Lance Thomas is on the books for 2019-2020 unless we waive him. His contract is non-guaranteed. Only $1 million of it is guaranteed. Right? So if we waive him, I don't know when the date is. Maybe it's June 29th, something like that. I'm not exactly sure when it is. But we waive Lance Thomas, and we will not have to pay him $7 million. We'll pay him $1 million. The Knicks can re-sign Lance Thomas, though, once they waive him. All right. Mario Hezonja is no longer on the books. Ron Baker is no longer on the books. Emmanuel Mudiay has a qualifying offer. All right. But the Knicks are going to most likely denounce Emmanuel Mudiay. So you don't have to worry about Emmanuel Mudiay. You got Frank Ntilikina on the books for $4.8 million, Dennis Smith Jr. for $4.4 million, Kevin Knox for $4.3 million, and Alonzo Trier, the New York Knicks. They I don't want to say re-signed Alonzo Trier. They didn't re-sign him. They just picked up his option for $3.5 million. All right, you got Noah Vonleh is not on the books. Luke Cornett is not on the books. Mitchell Robinson gets paid $1.5 million in 2019-2020. $1.6 million in 2020-21, and then there is a team option in 2021-22 for $1.8 million. So they've really got Mitchell Robinson under a very, very team-friendly contract. Very team-friendly contract. And if this kid, by his third season, if Mitchell Robinson is, a fringe all-star, averaging a double-double and like 4 blocks, right? I mean, you're getting all that value for $1.8 million. That's, that's a nice team-friendly deal. They're gonna have to pay up if he does what we think he can do. They're gonna have to pay up after that 2020-21 season. But hey, that's what you got to do. Damian Dotson is on the books in 2019-2020 for $1.6. John Jenkins is on the books for $1.9. Henry Ellenson is on the books for $1.6. That's a team option. Right? So the Knicks have, and Billy Garrett at $1.6. These are options that the Knicks can take for these players, the John Jenkins, Henry Ellenson, Billy Garrett. They're non-guaranteed contracts that the Knicks can choose not to guarantee. They can also choose to guarantee those contracts if they want to try to throw them into a trade. So there's some flexibility there. They did a really nice job with the cap. The Knicks did. They did a really, really nice job with the cap. So when you see these here, right, these are non-guaranteed contracts that the Knicks can choose to guarantee or not guarantee. Right? And if the Knicks guarantee them, it'll help them out with trades. If they're gonna make trades, right? So the Knicks have about $38 million on the books, right? About $38 million on the books. That leaves them with like $70 million, $69.8 million or whatever it is that they can spend in free agency, and they can probably find a way to free up a few more dollars if it's really necessary. All right, that's the outlook for the Knicks for 2019-2020. Now, let's look at 2020-21. 2020-21, you have a team option for Frank Ntilikina. The Knicks can free up money in 2020-21. Okay? You have a team option for Frank Ntilikina, a team option for Dennis Smith Jr., a team option for Kevin Knox. Mitchell Robinson is on the books for $1.6. Damian Dotson, John Jenkins, Henry Ellenson, Kadeem Allen, Isaiah Hicks. None of these guys, Billy Garrett, none of these guys are on the books for 2020-21. Right now, the Knicks have $8 million committed for 2020-21. Okay? Now, we'll see what happens this summer. But the Knicks can have, of course, you're going to have RJ Barrett. You're going to have the draft pick that's going to be on the books with guaranteed money in 2020-21. So that's going to be $7.5 million, somewhere around there. So the Knicks will have $15 million on the books, right? I mean, wow. The Knicks can have a bare cupboard if they want to in 2020-21. If they do it correctly, they can really have a bare cupboard, and in 2020-21 really, really, really make a push for anyone who's out there and can really construct a team if that's what they want to do. Now, we do this every year though, right? Every year we look and we say, oh yeah, 2020, 21, 21, 22, the Knicks are going to have all this money, right? And we can really build a team. And then, things happen. But, we're at it again. So in 2020, 21, the Knicks can really, they got a bare cupboard, and they can really, if they want to, build and construct the team in 2020-21 because they're going to have a lot of money depending on what they do this offseason. They'll have a lot of money in 2020-21. So, and I'm saying this to say, so many people are afraid of signing players, right? But when you look at 2020-21, it is possible that the Knicks can have a lot of money. So if you do end up signing some players, to contracts that go past 2021, right? And these are these, guys talk about second tier players and all that kind of stuff, right? But if you are signing some players, you can say, well, you know what? Maybe we do go a little bit longer because we have these options. We do have the ability to free up cap space in 2021. You see what I'm saying, Tony? What do you think about that?
I mean, who go back and how much money can they potentially free up?
I mean, in 2021, so right now, as we speak, this is as we speak right now, for 2020, 2021, the Knicks have $8 million committed, right? That's because they have a team option for Frank Ntilikina, a team option for Dennis Smith Jr., a team option for Kevin Knox. They're basically going to have $15 million committed because they're going to have to pay $7 million to this year's draft pick, $7 or $8 million to this year's draft pick.
Okay, I got you.
Right.
I mean, so potentially we add $60 million if we sign two people to the 15. That's 75. That leaves us with what, about, what's the cap? 110.
This year the cap. This year the cap is going to be like 109. And I am going to, let me just respond to one thing. Guys that's in the, people in the chat, I'm talking about 2021. Like this is guy, All Things Battle Rap, and All Things Battle Rap. I'm going to also refer you to the Front Stoop. Join us on the Front Stoop. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like maybe you're a battle rapper. But anyway, this is talking about, we are talking about 2019, 2020. Sometimes you got to take a step forward and look a little bit forward so that you can deal with the present. You know what I mean? And the reason why we're talking about 2020, 21 is so we can understand what that cap looks like in 2020 and 21. So that way we can understand, it helps us to understand what we can do in 2019, 2020. You know what I mean? It works that way. That way you kind of understand how you can manage your money a little bit because you know what your cap might look like in 2020, 21. So can we spend a little bit more money because we're going to have more money freed up in 2020, 21 or not? Right? So, we got,
I'm with you.
Yeah, so, that's the purpose of it. That's the purpose of it. So when people are kind of saying, oh, we spend on these mediocre players, which the players I'm going to talk about, I'm not sure if they are mediocre. They're rising. They're going to be rising talents. We will have the flexibility going forward in 2020, 21. And then when you look at 21, 22, there's $6 million on the books. It's going to be more than that. And that $6 million is Joakim Noah's. Right? there's qualifying offers and for Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr., but that's only if you keep him after 2021. So there is some, as we're looking forward, you can look and say, okay, we can do this year because we're going to have money freed up in 2021 so that we can go after Giannis or whoever is available. You know what I mean? So you got to look forward a little bit.
I feel you. Like when you get to the guys you want to talk about, just factor in the math of what they're going to get paid, and
right.
Then you can tell how much you're going to have left in 2021. So I understand exactly what you
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, we're 19.
Right,
we're 19 now. We would be paying money in 2019, 2020, but that talks about. It goes into 2021 because in 2019, 2020, there ain't no free agents that ain't no free agents we want. You know what I'm saying? The free agent group in 2019, 2020 is horrible. 2020, 21 is a little bit better.
I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't mind giving Noah Vonleh another look.
Okay. All right.
I think he's a versatile big. I think he was a pretty good defender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like what he showed, and I know he won't be very expensive.
Yeah. Now let me get to what I wanted to get to though, and the reason that we were looking at the salary cap, I wanted the people to just get a picture of what our salary cap looks like, and knowing that we have $70 million to spend this year. All right. I want to talk about potential free agents. Given the fact that Kevin Durant, we don't know if he's off the board yet. The Knicks may still be looking to sign Kevin Durant. But there is a way that if we sign some of these younger guys, it doesn't even impact Kevin Durant. May not impact Kevin Durant. And we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. Let's start with Julius Randle. I want to look at Julius Randle. All right. I think that Julius Randle is a guy that maybe you start to take a chance on. Really. Just looking at his numbers from Julius Randle from 2018, 2019. And this is your player card brought to you by SeatGeek. If you use the code NBK, you'll get 20% off your first purchase. And this is not just for sports tickets. All right, this is for concert tickets. If you're taking your lady out to a play, you're taking your kids to go see a Disney show or something like that, whatever it is, man, use the code NBK and you get 20% off your first ticket, your first purchase. Now, let's get back to it. Julius Randle. In 2018, 2019, Randle averaged 21.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists. He shot 52.4% from the field. He shot 34.4% from three. He's 6'9", 6'10", big, strong guy, strong body. He played for the New Orleans Pelicans. You guys know that. He's an unrestricted free agent. Right? His max contract. I want you guys to pay attention to this, because this goes for D'Angelo Russell as well. Right? The max contract for a player with 6 or fewer years of experience is 25% of the salary cap. So the projected salary cap is $109 million. 25% of that is $27,250,000. That's the approximate salary, starting salary, that is, for Julius Randle. Understand what I'm saying, folks. Please listen to what I'm saying. I want you to be clear. That $27.2 million, that is not what he has to get. That is the starting salary of a max contract. So, if any team was going to sign Julius Randle and they were going to give him the max, his max salary, the starting salary of his maximum contract would have to be $27.2 million. Okay? It doesn't mean that any team is gonna give him the max. Right now, Julius Randle makes about $8 million, like $8 to $9 million a year. All right, about $8 to $9 million a year. Once again, I'm gonna bring this over. Just take a look at Julius Randle and his statistics. Right, 21.4 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists. Shot 52.4% from the field, 34.4% from three. He's unrestricted free agent. His starting salary, if he were to receive a max contract, is $27.2 million. How would you feel, Tony, about giving this guy a contract, $20 million?
I think that's feasible.
Mm-hmm.
I go up to maybe 23 max. I don't think that's insulting. I think that's, I definitely start at around 20, but max out at around 23.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I would do the same thing for D'Lo.
Okay. Because
and
listen, he didn't make the All-Star team. New Orleans wasn't that good of a team. Yeah, I think that's cool. That's okay. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
24-year-old power forward. He can.
Reminds me of a.
Go ahead.
Reminds me of a young another Randall. Evo. Zach Randall.
Yeah.
Randolph.
Right.
Randolph.
Yeah, Randolph. Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of.
Right. So I would not mind. Listen, just imagine Mitch Robinson and Julius Randle manning that 4 and that 5 spot. Both guys are high energy. Both guys can play defense. Both guys can rebound the ball. I'm sure Julius Randle, he may not have a crazy high average of blocks, but he can block some shots. The athleticism and energy is off the charts if you take them two and you put them together.
Agreed. And he took last season real serious. Like, he came in probably the best shape I ever seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
And balled out. Balled out.
Yeah, and if he's coming to New York, he's going to be in better shape. You can guarantee that. You can guarantee that. He's coming to New York. He's going to be in better. He's going to be in much better shape. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Like my man Famos in the chat, he said, Frank, RJ, Knox, Randall, Mitch. I could dig it. I could dig that too. Really, I could dig it. I could feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like an AC.
Maybe an AC, but it's a young nucleus. He's 24 years old. He's 24 years old, a young nucleus. Right? The next guy I'm gonna bring up, I know there's gonna be some, some stuff. You guys know who I'm getting ready to bring up. D'Lo. All right, D'Angelo Russell. He made the All-Star team this year. He was on a playoff team. Now I know he made it in the East. He's on a playoff team. He made the All-Star team. 21.1 points per game, 3.9 rebounds per game, 7.7 assists per game. He shot 43.4% from the field, 36.9% from three. I don't like the field goal percentage. You know me, I like 45% or above. Right? He shot 43.4%, so he definitely he would need to get that up. Played for the Brooklyn Nets. He is a restricted free agent. And again, his max starting salary would be $27.2 million. All right, that's D'Angelo Russell. He's 23 years old. I know there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that agree with me. Then there's a lot of people that disagree with me about D'Angelo Russell. I kind of like D'Angelo Russell and how he could fit with this group, in my opinion. I feel like, this is what I feel like with D'Angelo Russell. And there's going to be a lot of people that say that I'm wrong. I feel like D'Angelo Russell, given his size, his court vision, you know, he has a decent basketball IQ. It can always get better, right? I feel like he's not the defender that Frank Ntilikina is, but on the offensive side, I feel like he's what we want Frank Ntilikina to be. Right? A guy that can see the floor, distribute the basketball, which I think Frank can, or at least will be able to better. He can also penetrate to the basket. He can create a shot, but he does look to get everyone else involved with D'Lo. Right? I feel like if you had a team, D'Angelo Russell at the 1, R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Julius Randle, Mitch Robinson. D'Angelo Russell's 23 years old. Everybody fits in age-wise. That is a young group.
Yeah, Dotson's older than him.
Dotson is older than D'Angelo Russell. Exactly. That's a young group that still leaves you, if you have the right contracts, you still got $30 million where you can absorb contracts. Or
actually, more than that, son.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you get these guys, let's just say it's going to be hard. It would be hard to get them at $18 million a piece, 18, 19 million. I don't think you're going to get them at that. I think that they're going to be worth more than that. Tim Hardaway Jr. got $17 million. Was it deserved? Probably not, but he got $17 million. They're going to cost more than that. But let's just say you can get them at $20 million a piece.
Yeah.
Right? That's $40 million. You still got 70. You still got 30, maybe a little bit more. If you play your cards right, maybe you got a little bit more, 30, 32, $33 million to sign, maybe sign another free agent, maybe even absorb contracts if you want to, maybe even sign someone like a Kawhi. I don't know what Kawhi's maximum right now is, probably 30. You know, it's probably his starting salary is probably 32. How long has Kawhi Leonard been in the league?
For 5 years, maybe.
He was drafted in 2011, so it's now 2000. He's been in the league for 8 years. So, being in the league for 8 years, Kawhi Leonard's starting maximum salary is $32 million, $32.7 million, I believe it is. That's his starting max, depending on the salary. But if you take $109 million and multiply it by 30%, because for a player who's been in the league from 7 to 9 years, his maximum salary is 30% of the salary cap. All right, I'll say that again. A player who's been in the league from 7 to 9 years, his starting salary is 30% of the salary cap. Right? So that means Kawhi Leonard is going to be around $32 million, $32.7 million. That's his starting salary. Now, maybe I'm pipe dreaming. I don't care. I don't care. If I'm pipe dreaming or not, maybe I am. But if you can find a way to get D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle for $20 million a piece, you still may have $32 million to give to Kawhi Leonard. That's his starting salary. I don't know, Tony, does it make sense or no?
Nah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, theoretically, you would want to get Kawhi first. If not, or D'Lo first as an enticement for Kawhi. Got an all-star already. I mean, and then if it boils down to it, Randolph last. But if you get Kawhi first, now you got the big bargaining chip to say, listen, I want to get you and Randall, reunite you guys. y'all can split the difference and just whatever's left, split it evenly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that works.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. Like, you get Kawhi first, because if you get Kawhi first, now you can say to someone like a D'Angelo and Julius Randle, hey, we got Kawhi Leonard. We want to pair you guys with Kawhi Leonard. This is how much we got left. You guys split it. You're still getting paid. Maybe you're getting 18 to 19 million a piece, right? Now you got. I mean, now you got something cooking. You got a point guard. You got your 3-man in Kawhi. You got a 4-man in Julius Randle. You got Mitch Robinson. I mean, you're cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're cooking with something. You're starting to do something there, I think. So I think that people need to open up their mind a little bit, because everybody is just looking at the big fish and not looking at ways that you can, things that we can do out there, right? And then let's just say you did give D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, or players like them. And when I say players like them, I'm saying players that are on the cusp of doing some very, very good things in the league. That's what I mean. Players that are on the cusp of it. I look at D'Angelo Russell when saying that he's on the cusp of it. I look at Julius Randle and say he's on the cusp of it, right? Guys
Tim,
that are on the cusp. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you get some other calls in, but before I go, I mean, the same thing would fit with if we did end up signing KD. Now we get KD, and now we do the same thing and tell these guys, you know what I'm saying, we got 19 million a piece for you, 20 million a piece for you. Come here while KD's rehab. Let's try to get this team in the playoffs. Let's try to it's you guys' show. Teach these young guys how to win. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm good with that as well. If that ends up being the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, get some other calls in. Hit me up later. Shout out to the chat.
I got you.
Yo, Black, it's time.
All right, peace. And I just want to respond to a couple of people that's in the YouTube chat. I'm not talking about maxing out D-Lo, and I'm not talking about maxing out Julius Randle. All right, I'll bring this over again so that you can see it. D'Angelo Russell's starting max salary would be $27.2 million. I'm talking about giving him $18, $19, $20 million. I'm not talking about giving him $27 million. That's his starting max. See, what I'm talking about is, targeting some young guys that are rising. They're on the rise up of their career arc. The rise up of their career arc. He's 23 years old. He's young. He's still a young cat, 23 years old. Right? You get two of these guys at 17, 18, 19 million dollars, and you still got money to sign a true max free agent. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about giving D'Angelo Russell $30 million. I just put this up here to show you what the max salary is so that you are informed, ladies and gentlemen, my friends. Up of their career arc. And big shout out to my man. Let me see what it all things battle rap. Thank you for the super chat. Big shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you. That's what I'm saying. My man, caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what's up, son?
I'm good. Did you hear everything I just said? Talking about D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle. How you feel about that, man?
I'm the guy who's been calling and saying that I wanted Julius Randle for a while.
Yep, you are.
I mean, Julius Randle he's 24 years old. He's already 21 and 8, 21 and 9 right now.
21. Yep.
You put him, like you said earlier. You put him at the 4, Mitchell Robinson at the 5. got R.J. Barrett. We can get D'Lo as the one.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Knox as the 3. I mean, I would even if with that little money, I would pay D'Lo and Randle. I mean, you could kind of go high for the first year or two, and then have it go on a descending scale. Or I mean, there's just so many options that.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to, I don't know if I'm going high the first year too. In my opinion, I don't know if I'm going high the first year too. Usually those contracts, they ascend. So, it's 20 million and 21 million, 22 million, like that, so that they're getting a raise every year,
Yeah, I would go. I think that's the best scenario for the end of free agency for the Knicks. I don't understand why people are saying we should sign Kevin Durant with an Achilles injury. I mean,
yeah,
that's the silliest thing I've heard in my whole life.
Well, I think that the New York Knicks may be looking into it. To say the truth. Hey, stay on the call for 1 minute. I just want to respond to something. Gemini, you said is Brooklyn letting Russell walk? That's a good question, because you're right. He is restricted and they can match any offer. I think that if they sign Kyrie Irving, I think they let D'Angelo Russell walk. They let him go. I think they're gonna let him go if they sign Kyrie Irving, and it looks like and sounds like they may sign Kyrie Irving. Seems like Kyrie Irving is on his way to the Brooklyn Nets. They may let D'Angelo Russell walk. Now, I'm gonna tell you what. If D'Angelo Russell is an unrestricted free agent, becomes an unrestricted free agent, there's going to be a lot of teams looking for D'Angelo Russell. You got the Boston Celtics, who have shown interest, the Indiana Pacers, the Utah Jazz, teams that he knows he can go to and be a playoff contender. Right? You put D'Angelo Russell on the Indiana Pacers, they're going to be a good team. You put him on the Utah Jazz, I think he's a very nice fit on the Utah Jazz, D'Angelo Russell and Donovan Mitchell together. I think that could be dangerous. So it's not like it's just a shoe-in, like, all we got to do is say we want D'Angelo Russell and he's coming to the Knicks. Same thing with Randle. But
yeah. No, yeah, I mean, but he played in New York. I mean, Brooklyn's New York, man. Brooklyn's the heart of New York. I mean, I can't see you playing in New York and then going to Brooklyn. I mean, and then going to Utah. I mean, I can't see you just going to Indiana after playing in New York.
I mean,
especially when New York's gonna put I mean, they're not gonna max you out, but I don't see anybody getting maxes anymore. Like, I can see guys like him. I don't see him getting a max anywhere. I mean, maybe if some team's desperate, but.
I agree with you. Now, he is from, like someone in the chat said, he is from Louisville. Right? He's from Louisville. So, he's used to living in those type of places.
Well, I mean, now you threw a wrench in everything. You had us thinking we had D'Lo. Now we're. I don't know. I mean, I like Julius Randle just by himself. I mean,
okay.
If you told me D'Lo or DSJ with either of them, I mean, you get DSJ in a couple of years might be doing what D'Lo's doing, or next year.
Maybe.
I mean, he might be.
Too. You never know.
And he can score. You've seen him go out and just have unbelievable nights where he scores the same way D'Lo does.
Yeah.
You look at the box score, you're like, Dennis Smith Jr. just had 30 points and then 8 rebounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he does. I'm not. I don't feel like that. I feel like D'Angelo Russell runs a team better than Dennis Smith Jr. And I don't feel like Dennis Smith Jr. is ever going to be the kind of guy that really can do both, can run a team and score. You know, but hey, I want to get back to this video chat. I want to hear what these guys think about it, man. All right, I appreciate the call.
Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me talk, man.
No doubt.
I can't wait to see. Are you doing draft coverage?
I am going to be live draft night 6:30. You should get a notification tonight once I get off of here.
All right, thank you.
All
yeah,
right.
I'll be watching. I'll try to call in on draft night. Have a good night, guys.
Appreciate it, bro. Peace. All right, I want to get over here again. We'll take one quick look at Julius Randle once again, so you can see his information again. Julius Randle, 21.4 points, 8.7 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists, 52.4% from the field, 34.4% from three. He's 24 years old. It's Julius Randle, unrestricted free agent. Take a look at D'Lo. D'Lo, 23 years old, 21.1 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 7 assists, 43.4% from the field. He shot 36.9% from three. He was an all-star for the Brooklyn Nets this year. He's a restricted free agent, which means the Nets can match any offer. But what's going around out there is that if the Brooklyn Nets sign Kyrie Irving, D'Angelo Russell is likely going to be gone from the Brooklyn Nets. So the question is, Randle, Russell in New York, reunited on Broadway. How would you feel about it? How would you feel about it? Let me come to Isaiah. See what Isaiah says. I see how he feels about it. Isaiah?
Hey,
how would you feel about it, bro? How would you feel about it? Randle, Russell, both at reasonable contracts, $20 million. You still got $32 million, $30 to $32 million left in free agency. How would you feel?
First of all, shout out to you, Sim. Happy Father's Day to you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, my brother.
I just want to state, I want to start this off by saying I made some garlic butter shrimp today for my girl with some sauteed peppers and onions and some mashed potatoes and some corn. She loved it. I made some for her mother. She loved it. It was really good. It was very delicious. I can't wait to come down, cook for your family. I can't wait. After I beat you in basketball, I can't wait.
Okay. Here we go. We're not even going to go there, man. We're just going to let you. I'm glad you cooked your lady a nice meal. You know what I mean? I'm glad you cooked your lady a nice meal. I hope that she enjoyed it. Cooking a meal and her enjoying it, that's two different things.
Oh, man.
You didn't say if she enjoyed it. All you did is say you cooked it. She may have been slipping into the dog under the table. You know what I mean?
Listen, she loved it. And not because she loved me. She loved the food I could cook.
Okay.
Like I said, I got the little mashed potatoes. I put the little shrimp in there. Got it swimming in the mashed potatoes. It was good, man. It was good.
All right. So let's get back to the topic, bro.
Sim, no, come on, man. No. Look. Why are we talking about? We're talking about these are tier 3 guys.
But see, hey, time out. And this is, first of all, they're not tier 3 guys.
Sam,
I'm not ready to say that. They're not tier 3 guys. Okay. How?
Sam,
tell me how.
Listen.
No. Explain yourself. Who's tier 1? Tell me the tier 1 guys.
The tier 1 guys are the Kyries.
Right.
The KDs.
Right.
Tier 2s. The Jimmy Butlers. You got the Jimmy Butlers. You got the Kemba Walkers. Those are these guys are tier 3s,
so you're telling me Julius Randle is not as good as Jimmy Butler?
No,
almost.
He's not.
His stats are just about there. And he's 24 years old, much younger. He's not going to cost $30 million. He'd cost you about $20 million. You got to understand. No. Let's stop for 1 second, because this is a misconception that continues to get me. everyone is listening. Everybody, all they hear about is max contract, max contract, max contract. And they think that every single free agent is going to get a max contract. We're not talking about every free agent getting a max contract. We're not talking about giving Julius Randle or D'Angelo Russell a max contract. What we're talking about is giving them a reasonable contract because they're young players that are up and coming. D'Angelo Russell made the All-Star team in the Eastern Conference. Hold on. Let me finish. D'Angelo Russell made the All-Star team. Julius Randle is an up-and-coming power forward, a position of need. You signed two players like this and still got $30 to $32 million to sign a Tier 1 free agent? Or if you don't get a Tier 1 free agent, you can use that money to do some other things? Come on now.
So can I go some?
Everybody wants the top. Everybody wants the top. In 2 years, when Julius Randle was a star and people said, man, the Knicks could have got him for $20 million, everyone's gonna be pissed off.
So,
yeah.
So you my man, but I disagree with you because look, this is what you're assuming. So you just, to me, you just kind of answered the question itself. These are upcoming dudes. First of all, D'Lo's not going to take $20 million. He's not. It sounds nice, but he's
making $7 million right now.
He's not. He's going to get 20%. He's going to get 25 plus.
Maybe he will. You don't. I mean, did you listen to the whole conversation with Tony Crow and I?
No, I muted.
No, you didn't. Okay, so go ahead. See, if you pay attention in class, then you can get. Then you know some of these things that we're already talking about because we already discussed that.
So answer me this, Sim. Let's say we sign these two. Well, what are we doing?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
That's mediocre.
What do you? Did you listen? You signed those two players and you still got $32 million? You still got $30 to $32 million to sign another star player?
But you're assuming that those two signed those contracts, which they're not going to sign.
See, you have to listen. They may or may not. What I'm saying is the point. I brought these two up because I would like, I'm not going to lie. I would like to say, you know what? We can sign these two. You got two young players. You still got $30 million. And then the next year, you still got more cap room because everybody comes off the books, right? You got to pay attention to that stuff. But anyway.
I'm paying attention, but to me, this is me. Uh-huh. If you're signing D'Lo and you're signing Randle, that tells me you don't gotta clear direction on what you want to do. Because those to me are players that don't move the needle. We're not gonna get better.
Wait a minute. Time out. No. Because you're wrong about where are you moving the needle to? We had 17 wins. If you move the needle to 38 wins, you move the needle.
Well,
Hold up. Time out. No, stop. You are in this group that want to go from last to first in one season, and that shit does not happen.
I never said that. I didn't say that.
So you just said they don't move the needle. Why do they not move the needle?
38 wins, that's mediocre. That's the point. That's the.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
That's the Wizards.
No, time out.
That's being mediocre. That's being in purgatory.
Listen. But this is what I'm saying to you.
What is the purpose of this?
This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you. You want to go from 17 wins to 50. It's not going to happen. If you go from 17 wins to 38, that's 21 more wins. That's a lot of wins compared to 17. And then you still got cap money to sign more players later? That is how you build. You got to build. Everybody wants to go from 17 to being the first team in the East. It's not going to happen. You got to build. So, yes, you go to 38. That's mediocre. So what? Because you're not going to automatically be a champion. You got to build up to that. So if you're mediocre and then you still got 30 million and then the next year you still got cap space and the following year you still got cap space, that's how you build. And then you got young free agents coming in. That's how you build. You don't just go from 17 wins to the championship team or 17 wins to the Eastern Conference Finals. That really isn't realistic. You get one, two, you get a couple teams that do that every year, but really it's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? So if you were to tell me that you can increase your win total by 21 games, any team would want to increase their win total by 21 games and still have $30 million in cap space. You can increase your win total and still have.
How many teams in the league do that and they don't? We
but
talk
you don't
about
understand what I'm saying. You don't get it.
Don't want to be the Wizards. I get it, son.
No, you don't, because these guys are.
I'm listening, but I get it.
Dude, these guys are 23 and 24 years old. Do you know how long you have to grow a team? These guys are budding stars. They're budding.
They're budding.
They're budding. They're not. They're not. Okay.
Hold on.
How can you say they're not?
I can name 5 power forwards better than Randle off the head right now.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Who are you gonna name?
What?
Other guys. Who are you gonna name? Guys that are stars. We're talking about budding stars. Guys that are growing, becoming what they are. We're talking about budding stars. That's what you want. You want budding stars.
Sim, but so D'Lo.
Name one guard on our team better than D'Angelo Russell.
I'm not saying that, but
no, tell me. Name one.
All right, son, because D'Lo's gonna help us win a championship. He's gonna be a championship player.
You know what? The Brooklyn Nets were closer to winning the championship than we were, and he was an all-star for their team.
But he
is 23 years old.
But how do we go? So tell me this: how do we go from earlier conversations early in the year talking about, you know what? If the Knicks don't get the top tier guys, we don't go for the lower guys. We said that
because these guys.
But hold on.
Because these guys are not. No.
Jimmy Butlers.
You don't understand. We're not talking about the Jimmy Butlers.
We didn't want those guys.
We're not talking about Jimmy Butlers.
But those guys are higher than D'Lo and Julius Randle.
Do you understand the difference between Jimmy Butler and D'Angelo Russell or Julius Randle? Tell me the difference between the two. Tell me the difference.
Butler and Julius Randle?
Yeah, tell me the difference.
Well, one's a power forward, one's younger, one's 23, one's 30.
There you go. Jimmy Butler is about at the peak of his powers. He's going to have to make $32 million this year, and then he's going to start coming down. Julius Randle has not yet reached the peak of his powers. Julius Randle has not yet entered his prime. He won't reach his prime until another 4 years. And he's going to get $20 million. Do you understand do you get that?
I get
He's 21 points a game. 21 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 54% from the field. And he's not at the peak of his powers yet. He's not there. He hasn't even reached his prime yet. You talk about Jimmy Butler, a guy who is in his prime, who's going to be on the downfall of his prime, $32 million a year, $32.7 million a year for his max. That's the difference between saying, yeah, we're going to get a young guy that fits the type of game we want to play, pay him $20 million. There's a big difference there. And then still have enough money left to be able to sign your big guys? Come on, man. Come on, man. So this is what you want to do, right? You want to wait and save the money, wait till next year and hope that Anthony Davis opts out. So we don't do nothing. We another 17 wins and we have nothing to show for it. Then you want to wait for another year and hope that now you're downing.
You act like we wouldn't get a high draft pick. You act like we wouldn't get a player that.
And there we go again. But this is what I'm saying. And then we want to wait another year for Giannis to come out, right? And then we don't get Giannis.
We can have some of these numbers can grow on the team.
Time out. Then we don't get Giannis, and we got to wait for the next free agent to come out.
You're putting
and we
me
wait for the next star to come out. But what I'm saying
is,
you can take young guys like D'Lo, young guys like Julius Randle, and you can add them to the players that we have. Now you got all these young players on a team that's growing together. Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell 2 years ago played with the Los Angeles Lakers. They had 38 wins. And they were 2 years younger. Not nowhere near the players that they are now. They had some other vets there, but for the most part, they were the nucleus. And they had 38 wins in the West. If they was in the East, they would have been 42, 43 wins. I mean, I don't know. Everybody was so hell-bent on KD and Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving coming that nobody else can see anything else that's out there.
Sam, you put me in a category where I was agreeing with you when I said let the young kids play. But if we don't get KD, we don't get Kyrie, let the young kids. You putting me in a category where I'm saying waiting for each range. I'm not saying wait for free agency. I'm saying
these are young kids.
But you paying them 20.
Dude, yo, what do you think you're gonna have to pay Kevin Knox soon? Right? That's what the salary landscape is. Kevin Knox is going to be making half of what these guys make already, and he hasn't done anything in the league. He's going to be making half. If these guys make 20, Kevin Knox is already making half of that. RJ Barrett is already going to be making half of that. No, Kevin Knox is not making half of that. Kevin Knox is making $4 million. RJ Barrett's going to already be making half of that, and hasn't done anything in the league. Right, 20 million is not outrageous for a guy that's averaging 21 points, 9 rebounds, and shooting over 50% from the field. That's not outrageous. I mean, maybe he gets more than that. I don't know. But the Knicks can always say, you know what, we're willing to give this guy 18 to 20 million. And did you even look at what we were shown with the cap space for 2021, 21, 22? And how there would be more cap space to add more players?
Yeah. Oh, I understand that.
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, man.
Listen, people try to kill me and trying to say, like, I understand what you're saying, so I really do. And I get where you're coming from with D'Lo and Randle. Me personally, I just don't like them on the Knicks. I just don't think it fits well. Their style of play. I just don't like it. But
Isaiah, you losing credibility with me, bro.
What you mean?
How does it not fit well?
Tim, okay.
They're both young. They're both athletic. They both can play an up-tempo game.
They both don't play defense.
What?
They don't play defense.
They play better. Defense. They play better. Every single player that we name, every single player that we name, any player. There's very few players that we name where people say they play defense. Every single player that's named, they don't play defense. They don't play defense. They don't play defense. Do you know there's only a handful of players in the NBA that actually do play defense, according to everybody else? I dare you to get out there and stay in front of one of these guards.
Oh, come on, son.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
It's easy to say that to me because I'm the NBA player.
No, I'm just saying because people act like any player in the league could just step in front of these guys and play defense on them. You know what I'm saying? These guys are quick. These guys are fast. It is very, very hard to play defense in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? These guys try. They work hard. You know what I mean? You got some players that are very, very good, and you got most players that are not. And the rules are made so that you do not play defense. You got to play a team game of defense. It's not just individual. It's got to be a team game. Your defense got to be a team game. If you don't have a team game of defense, listen, Steph Curry don't play defense. He's not that great of a defender.
Oh, come on, Steph. Oh, my.
No. Don't say, come on. Man. What I'm saying is.
He's a generational player.
But what I'm saying is, but he does not.
Him to a generational player?
Hold up. You didn't let me finish. You gotta listen sometimes, right? He don't play defense, but the Warriors still have one of the best defenses in the league. Why? Because it's a team game. Because they play team defense.
The rest of the starting five play defense, though.
It is a team defense. That's exactly what I just said. A team defense. You got to have a team defense. It's not all about just one play. You got to have a team defense. You know what I'm saying? A team defense. Most of our players look really bad because we didn't have a good team defense. You know what I mean? I don't know. Any player that we look at getting, if it's not a star, this is Knicks fans for you. You know what I'm saying? We never want to build. We want to just go straight for the stars.
It's not about building, but it's about how many times have we given players $18, $20 million and just hasn't panned out to the players that don't deserve it. For people killing me, how many times has Knicks fans have we complained about giving the wrong players money and giving them money? We gave Tim Hardaway $17 million, hoping he's going to be a star. We're going to give D'Lo, Randle, hoping they can be a star.
Time out. But see, there's a difference because D'Lo already is an all-star. You gave Tim Hardaway Jr.
One of the players got injured. He was all-star.
So what? So what? Was Tim Hardaway? No. So what? You gave Tim Hardaway. They gave Tim Hardaway Jr. when he was not close to being that.
So all I'm saying is the same people that's trying to kill me in the chat right now are going to be the same people complaining because we complained about Tim Hardaway, him getting paid $17 million.
So who will you not complain about? Who will you not complain about?
So I'm not saying.
Tell me who you won't complain about then.
I won't complain about the young fellas.
No. I'm talking about signing someone in free agency. We got $70 million to spend. You're going to have to spend 66 of it. You got to spend a certain amount of money. It is required by the NBA that you spend a certain amount of money. So tell me who you would not be disappointed in.
What, I personally?
Yeah, you got to spend money. It is required that you spend money. It is a requirement by the league. So who would you not be disappointed in? No, tell me. Answer my question. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Listen,
who would you not be disappointed in?
I said it before. I stated, I'd rather than the Knicks take on bad contracts, get the bad contracts, get picks, do it that way. I won't complain about. I won't complain about that. Okay. So you want to take draft picks from the Houston Rockets and take on Chris Paul's contract then? That's now you're trying to make it.
I'm asking you the question.
I'm not talking about those contracts. I'm talking about contracts where they have 1 year up and teams want us to do a salary dump. Those are the contracts I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Chris Paul contracts or John Wall contracts.
Well, tell me who. Yeah. Tell me who.
The players
tell me what your idea is then. What you playing?
Players that have 1 year contracts.
Ilyasova, $7 million a year. All right, we can take his and we can get the 30th draft pick for this year. We can get this year's 30th draft pick. What the hell are we going to do with it?
You know what I'm trying to do.
No. I'm saying
but we can twist it and make it seem like I'm sounding crazy. No, it's not that.
Okay, we can take Mike Conley then.
What the Nets did when the Nets took on what's his name? Fareed contract and they got picks from the Nuggets or stuff like that.
I get that.
But you're trying to make me sound crazy, like, let's take on Chris Paul. I'm not
trying to make you sound crazy. I want to know what you say. I want to know what your plan is. Then, you want to take on Mike Conley?
No, I don't want to take on Mike Conley. I want to take on like dudes that got 1 year contracts that got 1 year left.
Okay, well, tell me who. You don't know. See, you're gonna come to a fight. Come with a gun. Don't come with a knife. Come with a gun with your bullets ready to blaze.
Man. You got the computer right now.
Okay, come with a gun with your bullets ready to blaze. That's what I'm saying.
You trying to kill me for saying I want to take on bad contract with 1 year remaining, who could give us draft picks or give us assets to build on our assets, so we can keep going.
Okay,
and keep having
I get that. Okay, so, but check it out though, because all of those contracts are not $30 million. As a matter of fact, most of them are not. Right, so let's.
But we have other options. We can finally give Joakim Noah his money, so we don't have to do the waiving. We don't have to do the stretching thing. We could do that.
You know what? I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you. So we give So check it out. So you give D'Angelo Russell $20 million. You give Julius Randle $20 million. You still got $30 million left. You can take that $30 million and you can pay off Joakim Noah so that you don't have that in the future. And you can also take on Ilyasova's contract and get the 30th pick. You see what I'm saying? There is $70 million and you have to spend some of it. You have to spend some of it, right? Maybe you do a one-on-one. Maybe you say, D'Angelo, okay, we're going to do a 2-year contract. You got 1 year. The second year is an opt-out. It's a team option. Maybe the same thing with D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle. We're gonna do a one-on-one. You don't know. So then that way you still have the option to not have them the following year. This different thing. Will they go for that? I don't know. I'm not saying they will go for it. But you gotta have an open mind. If everything is if it's just one way. And when I talk about the second tier guys, when I talk about not signing those second tier guys. I'm talking about the Jimmy Butlers that get $32 million on a max contract, right? If people are talking about not giving second tier guys max contracts, Jimmy Butler, his max contract would be $32.7 million. That's a no-no. Tobias Harris, his max contract would start at $32.7 million. That's a no-no. It's not. We're not talking about giving those. We're not talking about that. We're not even talking about giving D'Lo, Julius Randle, or a player in that stratosphere a max contract. We're talking about giving them well below the max contract.
But see,
to try to build your team up.
This is where you get contradicting, Sim, because you get a little contradicting some about that, because you talk about players not taking less and always getting the money that they deserve because they don't have a long career.
I didn't say that they were going to do it.
You said that.
Listen, see, you got to understand something. When I speak from that, I'm speaking as a player. When I speak from this right now, I'm speaking like I'm the team, right? If I'm the player, I'm getting as much money as possible. If I'm the team, I'm trying to get the best deal as possible. I'm not contradicting myself. It's just speaking from two different business models and two different business sides. That's all.
That's what you want to call it.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Let me get on to somebody else, man. Let me get on to somebody else.
Don't be having this chat go against me, because everybody trying to go against me right now. I'm not having anybody
go against you. Not having anybody going against you.
I know what you're doing.
I'm pretty sure there's people that agree with you.
People talk about getting them, all that. Listen, I will come for this chat. There's 685 people. I will come for this chat. Don't try to play me, man.
I ain't trying to play you, man. I'm not trying to play you, man. You could have did this in private, man.
Don't try to play me, man.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you could have did this in private.
This is the conversation we having. This is the conversation we having, man.
All these old heads, all these 40-year-olds hyping you up right now. Don't make me don't make me get the wheelchair on these dudes, man. I will cook and I will whoop their ass.
Oh, listen to it. All right, let me get Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I like the argument that you and
hey, Mark, you keep putting your ear in the video, man.
My bad, because I'm on the phone. My bad. I like that conversation y'all was having. Good schooling him a little bit, but Julius Randle's okay. He's okay. He's gonna be good in his career. I would take him for a 1-and-1. I would give him somewhat max money this year and an opt-out, just to play for us.
A team option.
Yeah, team option.
Gotta be a team option.
And then the rest of the money, there's a couple of contracts I would like to take. I would like to take that Marvin Williams
where were you when he was whooping my ass?
Hold on. Time out. Let me
my bad, sir.
No, go ahead. That's my fault. There you go. Go ahead, Mark.
There's a couple of contracts that I would want to take, like the Marvin Williams from Charlotte, for 15. And his contract come off. There's Chandler Parsons.
When does Marvin Williams' contract come off?
Next year.
Next summer.
Yeah. And the reason why he opted into that 15 because he ain't getting that nowhere. And Jordan want to get rid of that because Kimber might stay. He might take less to stay. So if you could get Marvin Williams off that team for Jordan, he would probably give us a pick for that also. So in all cases, I would sign Julius Randle as a quality player to surround like Mitch and the other guys, just to, for our guys to get rep, to get better, to win more games, such and such. But I still want to like hover around the 10th lottery for next year to have that as an asset. This all depends on if we sign KD for this year. Supposedly we sign KD this year. If that happens, we still want to hover around, around in the lottery pick. We don't have to be the suckiest team because of the lottery, because the Pelicans was number 7 and they ended up number 1. So in that case, we all have a chance to get number 1. So I want to hover around but still be good, still win games while being good, but not being in the lottery. So there's a lot of things the Knicks could do, but that Joakim Noah thing, I want to pay him every single dollar. I never knew that was a capability.
Yeah, man. That thing, that's an ability. We talked about that a long time ago in one of the chats. Where
so we owe him $24 million?
We owe him, let me see. We still owe
Because I know it's 6 for the next 3 years.
Let me see. We owe him. Yeah, it's 6 for the next 3 years. So that's like 18.
Oh, pay
like
him
18
all
mil.
of that. Get him off.
We have like 18 mil. Yeah,
I
it's like $18
$18
million.
Because Sim, I want to get that off because when you think about it and how the Knicks are so set up, even if we let KD get a red shirt, yeah, he came back. KD comes back and he's KD. We will have so much cap space to just go bonkers signing people to put to surround KD. So there's a lot the Knicks can do, but I still want to
There's
draft
a whole lot
players.
the Knicks can do.
Yeah, it's a whole lot.
There's a whole lot the Knicks can do.
Then we just have to, honestly, as much as we don't want KD, it is a 50-50 thing. It's 50-50 with me, but I still got to take KD because he gives us a chance to sign anybody else if he comes back to.
And look, even if you have KD sitting in the wings, right?
It benefits us.
Listen, you have KD sitting in the wings, and then you have someone. I don't know if you do a Julius Randle at that point because KD is a 4 and Julius Randle plays the 4. But then say there's another guy like a Tobias Harris, right? And I'm not saying you give him the max. I'm saying you give him, you give him a decent, a competitive, a marketable contract, right? So now you got that, and then you sign. I mean, I like D-Lo. You don't. I mean, not that you don't like him. Not that you don't like him. I get it. Hold on.
Yeah,
I get it. Not that you don't like him, but but you sign. But then you sign someone else, and so now you got 2 young players that are maybe get you into the 8th seed, maybe get you into the 7th seed, and people are like, oh, so what? We get into the 8th seed, but then you got a KD waiting in the wings, comes back. You got a nice spot for him, bam, and you rock with it.
You see the D-Lo situation.
See
the D-Lo situation, he's gonna get that. He's gonna get if Brooklyn don't sign him and let him walk. It's Utah. It's Indiana. Indiana has $44 million and they need a point guard. They're gonna give him that 27.
They might.
He is going to get what is offered. There's the Boston Celtics. That's why they're going hard for Mike Conley right now. You got the Phoenix Suns. They're looking for a point guard. They saying, here, somebody take the 6th pick. There's a whole lot of teams. That's why the D'Angelo situation, I don't think there's a chance he might want to come play for the Knicks, but there's going to be other teams that's going to better suit him and his career. He's going to go to a contended team before he even looks at us.
Yeah, there may be some other teams. Like I said, that's what I said. There will be competition. If I don't even know if the Knicks, if Scott Perry and Steve Mills are interested. If I was the general manager, I would be.
KD's a big fish, Sam. KD
I get that. I get that. If it's Kawhi Leonard, listen to me, Mark.
I'll take Kawhi before I take KD.
But check this. If it's Kawhi Leonard's starting max salary is $32.7 million.
Matter of fact, I'm signing both of them.
Listen. Kawhi Leonard's starting salary is $32.7 million if he was interested in coming to the Knicks. Right? That's a starting salary. That's still $32.7 million. That's a starting salary. No, it's not.
That's what Kyrie would get.
And that's what Kyrie would get. And then you still have $38 million. It doesn't mean that you have. See, and this is what I'm trying to say. You get a Kawhi. I feel like the landscape of the NBA has changed. Maybe with the Lakers, they're trying to do it the old big 3-way. I feel like it's changed a little bit, especially with the Toronto Raptors winning. Right?
The KD situation messed it all up. That's what happened. The KD situation messed it all up.
So I feel like you can get a Kawhi.
Yeah.
Let's just say it happened. I know a lot of people, Kawhi's not coming. We're just talking, right? Because
there's a big chance that he could come because his uncle is from New Jersey, and he's good friends with Scott Perry. I think because the way the Knicks are set up, if they land KD and Kawhi allowed Kevin Durant get a red shirt year, the next year we're gonna have extra money in salary cap while we have these 2 players underneath that.
Yeah, and so what? Exactly, this is what I'm saying. Yeah. With you can get a Kawhi for $32.7 million. That's the starting salary. You still got $38 million. To spend. It doesn't have to be another star. It could be a $20 million to Julius Randle or $23 million to Julius Randle, and then another 17, then another $15 million to somebody else. And I would prefer they be younger guys like Julius Randle, that's 24 years old, that still has his whole future ahead of him.
So
that is how you build a team. Isaiah don't get that.
So check this in. I like when they did the trade thing. I like when they took him because they have his rights.
Yeah.
But if you I'm looking at the Knicks roster for 2020, right? When all the players come off the books this year, right? We only have Dennis Smith for a year and Frank after this year. This is all after this year. I think those two, if say we sign KD and Kawhi this year, right? And Kawhi allow him to have a redshirt year, and then we surround pieces to, make Kawhi competitive. But he knows that KD's is waiting for next year. So he gives us like a redshirt year also. I think Dennis Smith and Frank become tradable assets. They both salary come up to $12 million. So when 2020 and 2021 arrive, that is perfect for us to get those two off to even get veteran players to put around these two budding superstars. Because when you think about it, if KD even comes back at 75, 80%, we have a healthy Kawhi. That's all you need. That's all you need. And then we can keep Mitch, have Alonzo Trier Damian Dotson. We all have their rights. And then we could do whatever we could do underneath our salary cap, and then have an extra $20 million in salary for 2020, going to 2021. The Knicks are set up in a great spot. That's why I believe KD is going to be a landing spot for him. And then Kawhi is the big. It's who I want. It's who I want the most. It's who I want the most.
Yeah. Listen. You get Kawhi Leonard. You're really starting to build something, and you got the money to build around it and make something happen. And in all of these discussions that I was having with Isaiah, forgot all about RJ Barrett that you'd be having with those guys too.
Yo, wait, time out, Sim.
All about him.
Do you know what the Pelicans just came out with?
What's that?
They're trying to move down to second so they can get RJ Barrett in the draft. That just came out. They're trying to move to second to get RJ Barrett.
Whoa. Are you saying trade? Are they trying to trade the fourth pick?
They're going to trade the fourth pick and whatever they have to get into the draft, and they could do it.
So that they can get to the second pick to get RJ Barrett.
Yeah, because the Grizzlies going to look at it like, the Grizzlies going to look at it as like, I'm just going to collect assets. And the thing that the Pelicans could do, they could take Chandler Parsons' contract. So they could take that Chandler Parsons contract from Memphis that they're trying to get off. So look out for that in draft night. It's a whole lot of stuff about to shake up. And if the Pelicans take RJ, Sim.
So hold on. Just give me 1 second, because I want to bring this over.
Yeah.
I want to bring this over and read this to everyone, so that you know exactly what Mark is saying and what Mark is talking about when he's saying that the New Orleans Pelicans are trying to move up into the draft. Mark, you're still live, all right?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. This is from the New York Post. Mark Berman said the Pelicans' new draft plan could allow Ja Morant to fall to the Knicks.
This is crazy.
All right. The Pelicans could still have a hand in the Knicks' future. Following the Anthony Davis trade with the Lakers, New Orleans holds the fourth pick in Thursday's draft and is exploring all sorts of options. All right. According to an NBA source, New Orleans has explored moving back to gain more assets and also had internal talks about moving up to the second pick to take Memphis' selection and draft RJ Barrett to the team with his Duke compadre Zion Williamson.
Oh my
Barrett
God.
and Williamson are best friends. The trade-up maneuver, however unlikely, would allow Murray State's Ja Morant to fall to the Knicks at number 3. The Knicks had Morant higher on their board than Barrett at the Chicago Combine, but that also was before Morant recently underwent knee surgery. Okay, according to an NBA executive who has spoken to the Knicks, President Steve Mills is locked in at keeping the third pick and delighted to take either Morant or Barrett. The 6'7" Duke lefty swingman. Talk about Barrett. While the Knicks were open to moving back after the lottery for a whopping offer, they are now comfortable staying put. Barrett had a solid workout with the Knicks on June 10th and hit it off with Coach David Fizdale in their latest meetings. The Knicks are impressed he wants to be in New York, as he has refused to work out for the Grizzlies. Another NBA executive said the Knicks have a good problem to have. Pick 3 in a 3-man draft. They just have to wait and see.
Tim.
So, we are going to see. We'll see what happens there, man. We will see what happens there.
Tim, if that happened, I'm trading that 3rd pick with Atlanta. Listen, I want RJ because of his size and what he could do. I like Morant. Mm-hmm. I like him, but no. Listen, I hope this don't happen because this will be a laughing. The Knicks would take the biggest L in NBA history if that happened.
That would be tough.
Because I really set my heart on RJ now. Like I'm starting to warm up to him because of his size and his dynamic guard skills. And he's 6'7", and he could play. He's just a bigger NBA player. I like Morant, bro, but you had Nice. Listen, I'm trading that 3rd pick. Whoever wants that 3rd pick, listen, I would take Cam Reddish or Culver or Hunter before I take Morant. That's just me. That's who I prefer. I just want a bigger talent. I just want bigger players on this team.
All right. Hey, Mark, let me get around. Let me speak to some guys because some guys ran out of jumped out of the video chat because I didn't get to them yet. You know what I'm saying? But let me get around to these guys. You know what I'm saying? What's good, man? What's good?
Man, Sam, listening to you and Isaiah, man, I was confused. I'm real confused. These are the same dudes that said they don't want to pay Kevin Durant and, don't give him the money. It's a waste of money. It's a bad idea. He's too old, right? Mm-hmm. So when you introduce a couple young options, when you introduce a couple young options, now it's, we don't want them either. I asked them the same thing in the chat. Who do you want?
Right.
I'm like, we want to bring back Moutier and Hazonia? Like, is that the plan? Like, I feel like next year, hold up, Isaiah, man. I'll address you when I'm finished, man. So my thing, like, next year, like, my hope was that we win some games.
Exactly.
Like, we win some basketball games.
Exactly.
So, like, we can't, like, and I was telling this mindset that you just keep getting draft picks is an old school mindset because winning doesn't help you anymore. Losing doesn't help you anymore. We just seen that. So if our whole goal is to just go into next year, not improve the team talent-wise, just run a bunch of young, raw guys out there and lose again, we can be next year the 6th pick, the 7th pick, the 8th pick. Losing a bunch of games is not going to help you. We might as well go out there and try to win as many games as possible, put the best talent we can on the floor, some games. And if it's not a guy like Kevin Durant or Kawhi, then guys like Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell are the type of guys you want to pick. So I don't get it, man. I don't know who these guys are. I don't know what Knicks fans want anymore, man. I don't understand it. They got to, like you said, we have to spend the money. We can't just hold $73 million and run out 6 players. Like, right. You have to spend the money. Like, I don't know what they think this is. Like, you can't just, like, that money has to be spent. You want to take on these contracts, that's cool. But I don't think they understand how much $73 million is. Yeah. It's a lot of money. You can't
it's a lot of money to spend, man. And, oh, no. Well,
it's kind of like in baseball, they call it prospect hugging. Like teams don't want to trade their young prospects in the minor leagues. NBA fans have that same, Knicks fans have that same thing with cap space. Like we like to hold on to our cap space for dear life because we have PTSD. Like we're so afraid to use it on anybody unless it's Jesus. Like we waiting for Jesus to come down from the sky so we can give him the money. Like, no, you got to pay somebody, man. You got to take a chance on somebody. There are no home run signings. Unless it's a Kevin Durant or Kawhi, there's going to be some downsides to it, guys that have deficits, but you got to take a chance on somebody. And if they're young, made an all-star team, Julius Randle put up 21-9, 53% shooting, 35% from 3. He's 6'9", he's athletic. Like, what do we – I don't know what Knicks fans want, man. I think they want Moody and Hazonia back. I think that's what we want. I don't get it, man.
Right.
I don't get it.
Oh, I'm going to come back to you, Isaiah, man. Let me get around, get some other people a chance to talk, man. Get some other people a chance to talk. Let me. Hopefully, I say your name right. Elier.
Yeah.
How do I say it?
Eliel.
What's going on with you, man?
You saying it right?
Oh, I'm
What's
saying
good,
it right.
man?
Cool.
I'm a big fan of the show, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
For real, man.
Appreciate
you,
it.
man. But yeah, man, I agree with Ant, man. We gotta spend money, man. We gotta make something happen. But I won't be mad if we don't sign nobody and we get probably like a tier 2 guy and a tier 3 guy for the low and built around the young guys. For real, because look, if you think about it, giving KD a max right now, that's so risky. Like giving KD a max, man, that'll probably be worse than giving Stoudemire the max that we gave him. I'm telling you, it's very risky. He's gonna be 33 when he come back, but it makes no sense. I feel like we should build, because every time we build something good, we mess it up trying to win, trying to fix things faster than what we should be doing is just developing these young players we got. We got Mitchell. We got Mitchell. We got a couple young guys, different ways. For real. We got a couple good young guys, man. We should keep building. We should keep building.
Yeah, and that's what we got to do. We got to keep building. We got to keep making something happen. And Knicks fans just got to be, we got to have an open mindset and be flexible with our mindset. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just got to be flexible with the way that we're thinking. Ernesto, man, what do you think? I know what you think.
What's up? What's poppin', Sim? What do I think, Sim?
I know what you think. What do you think? I know what you think about Russell. What do you think about Randle?
Well, with Randle, I mean, I really don't want to commit like 25. That's what he's going to come in. He's going to command around 22 to 25 million. I don't want to commit that kind of salary. And he's going to sign a 4-year contract. He's not going to sign a 1-year, 2-year deal.
Yeah, probably not.
He's going to sign a 4. So you're going to invest. Do I want to invest 100 million on Randle? No, not really.
No.
But why wouldn't you? Okay, if let's just say you can get him for $20 million, right? Let's just say you could. A 24-year-old, 6'9" power forward, shooting over 50% from the field, 9 rebounds, 20 points a game. You don't think that's worth it?
Well, if I can get him for 20 million, I'll sign him. And the reason why is because it's a tradable. It becomes an asset, and it's a tradable contract. So in case I have to if I have to move him, let's say for next summer, let's say if I have to move him to get AD here, for an example, then I can do that. I can easily move him. But if I have to pay him 25 million, 27 million, it's going to be harder for me to move him.
Yeah, you're definitely not giving him the max.
Exactly.
He's not a guy you give the max. I'm not talking about giving out max contracts right now.
But all I'm saying is,
right.
I want valuable contracts which become assets. I don't want to overpay. If you overpay, let it be for 1 year. It's simple. If you
I get that.
Pay a player 1 year.
And see, that's the way, Ernesto, that you can. It's very hard. You see the Philadelphia 76ers, they did it with JJ Redick, right? They overpaid him for 1 year, and then after that year, they signed him to another contract. But the difference with JJ Redick and with a guy like Randle is that JJ Redick, he kind of knew what his value is, right? And he knew that he was at the point where he was going to start coming down the arc of his career. Well, when you look at guys like Randle, who's going up the arc of their career, you give them a big contract for 1 year and they say, but then next year we're going to work out whatever it is. They're kind of like, well, if I'm going to make 27 million this year, I want to make that. I want to make it next year, the year after too, because I'm still going up. I'm not coming down yet. But I do get it. If you say, all right, listen, Randle, we'll give you the max for 1 year. Right? Or 1+1. So we'll give you the max. We'll give you the max for 1 year, and then there's a team option for the next year. So now you're not on the books for that following summer. You got to spend the money anyway. Then you see, can they play? Can they do? I guess something like that.
Well, if you agree to a 1 year deal with a team option, then I'm all for it. It's a 1 year contract.
Yeah, and the reason why someone like that might is because if other teams are not offering the max, but then you're like, we'll give you the max for a year, maybe he does it. I don't know. It depends. If the other team is offering 4 years, then it's probably like, all right, I'm not getting the max, but it's 4 years. You know what I mean?
We just watched a game 6 of the NBA Finals.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Ernesto.
We just watched game 6 of the NBA Finals, and we watched 2 superstar players go down in major injuries.
That's true.
All eyes are watching. Players, free agents are going to want multi-year contracts. They're not going to want these short-term deals. Everybody's going to be looking to sign long-term, and whatever.
That's
the
true.
longest amount they can sign, that's what they're going for this year. That's how this thing goes. It's a domino effect. So
yeah, I definitely agree with you.
I don't see players signing 1-year deals. Everybody's going to go to sign the max.
Yeah,
if you can get a 5, get a 5. If you can sign a 4, you sign a 4.
Yeah.
Nobody's leaving money on the table. This is not how it works.
Yeah.
So that's why the Knicks have to be just smart about what they're doing.
Let me ask you about. Let me. Go ahead.
I would have done the AD trade because with that trade with the Lakers, that tells me I could have gotten AD without giving up Mitch, and that was the key for me. Mitch was the deal breaker. But if I can move, if they would have taken look, and they're in love with RJ Barrett, as you can see, so that they really wanted that 3rd pick. So that had a lot of value for the Pelicans. If they would have offered Knox, DSJ, the 3rd pick, their choice of either Trier or Dotson, plus the two first rounders that we have in 2021, ours and Dallas's, that would have gotten us AD, and I would have pulled the trigger on that move, because once AD is in New York, this is the domino effect. It changes everything. Now, your chances of getting Kawhi went from 15% to 50%. Your chances of getting, let's say, a Jimmy Butler, if you wanted to, go from a 60% to 80%. So it changes completely everything once your AD is in check. And to pair AD and Mitch would have been tremendous. It would have been a force down the block. It would have been a force in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, that probably would have been a force in the paint. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I would have done the trade, only if I knew KD was in the bag or Kawhi was in the bag or something like that. And plus AD, even though he's in Los Angeles, he's opting out anyway. If he would have been in New York, he's going to opt out of his contract as well. And I don't know. I'm not sure I would have done. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you're on Live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on? Second time caller. Sandy with an N. Sandy.
Hey, how you doing, man? I remember you from upstate New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice to talk to you again.
First off, definitely want to give you a mad props as always. Happy Father's Day belated to you.
Appreciate
Hope
it.
You had
Thank
a good one. Sounds like you had a great one.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, all your video guys are saying some good things. You know, pros and cons. I mean, I'm kind of in the Isaiah camp. First off, let's be straight. Let's talk about each one individually.
Mm-hmm.
Your scenario when it comes to D'Lo, you're talking about a lot of what ifs going our way. All right, first and foremost, that means they're signing Kyrie, and they're gonna, give up the rights of D'Lo. That would be the first thing that you're saying would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you're saying that no other team is willing to go near what he is capable or would be allowed to get based on his years in service. And that's just, I don't think that happens for a lot of reasons. First of all, I don't even want him, but I'm just saying.
No, I did say that there would be a lot of competition. What my premise is,
no one. Mm-hmm.
But what my premise is, I used D'Lo and Julius Randle, right? Because they are two very intriguing.
You see potential in them getting better in the next few years.
Young and budding. Right, and there's a lot, there's some intrigue with those two guys. But,
let
my
me finish,
concept, though, my concept is young and budding. Maybe it's not those two guys. That's my concept, young and budding.
I hear you, but I'm just not sure how many young and budding guys you're going to find out there.
I don't know.
I mean, we're not going to be. We're not the only team that saw this as one of the greatest free agent seasons ever.
Of course.
I mean, there's a boatload of teams with a lot of money to spend.
Of course.
And I'm telling you right now, and I think you're going to agree with me 100%. It will not shock me if one of the tier 1 guys take a lot less money and go to the Lakers. I could see one of those guys saying, you know what, I'll do a cheap year, and I'll go play with the two of them in LA. And in the way the chips fall for that team, they'll probably do that in a sign and trade, and they'll turn around and they'll send Wagner and the other kid that's making money. I can't think of his name right now. Other bench player they got. They'll send those two, and I'm a Wolverine fan, so it hurts me to call Morris Wagner basically a bum, but he is right now. They'll end up somehow figuring how to do a sign and trade, sending their crap over to another team, and still have enough money to bring in a fourth guy. And I mean, you add like a guy, I judge, Redick to that team, who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, or maybe the other Curry brother, with, like I said, somebody that just said, yeah, I'll take less money on a year deal. You now do have a pretty good team there, which I hope that doesn't happen because I don't want to see, LeBron win another title.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
So my point is I'm not a big fan of D'Lo. I get where you're going. We have all this money, and we got to do something with it. We're going to be forced to do something with it. I would be cool with Randle. I think that Randle makes sense. His numbers are really good for a 24-year-old kid. I saw a bunch of people in the chat complaining that because of the way Mitchell plays, he would have to be quote unquote a stretch four, and his three-point average isn't good enough for that. But listen, it's positionless basketball now. I'm not that worried about that either. But I'm still, one of those fans who want to see KD come, and I think that you sold KD tonight without even thinking about it. You pointed out in 2 seasons, the Knicks could have a lot of money again, enough for another max. I don't know what's out there in that year, and God knows what will happen between now and then either. But so you give KD his 1 year off, you give him another year, then he comes back and he's got this other year where he's getting his legs back under him. Plus, we've now given all our kids Knox, Barrett, who I am now totally on board for RJ. I think you and I talked a little about this last Friday night. Or you spoke about it maybe when I wasn't on the call with you, but I think you and I are on the same page there. I have been massively impressed by him and what he says every time he steps in front of a camera.
Yeah, me too.
The fact that, again, this is a kid, and mind you, they all do it. He went to the most, Duke is like the New York of college basketball. You either put up or shut up, and you know what I mean. If you can't put it up in Duke, you're not going to be able to put it up you got it. I mean, if you can do it there, you can do it almost anywhere, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I am totally on board with him at this point. I heard Calipari was on one of the shows yesterday or the day before, and he went out of his way to talk about Knox. And he went out of his way again to say, give this kid time. He is still younger than a lot of people in the league. And I'm telling you, he is going to blossom. And I went back and I looked at his numbers, and they started out great. He had that crappy part of the season, but he finished pretty strong. So I gotta, I'm keeping hope on him. The point is, we got our kids. When we didn't make this AD trade, and go all in like or not. And Ernesto made some great points. I mean, if you don't have faith in those kids and you can turn it around really quickly, what he said would have made sense. What he said of, giving Barrett up, giving up our pick and the Dallas pick in the same draft, mind you, right?
Yeah.
And giving up 2 players, not one of them being Robinson. I was all in for that if KD was healthy. That was the play, but it's not. But Well, I want to ask you. I mean, everyone is saying we're going to get a sit down with Leonard. He's kind of, so is New Jersey supposedly, and the only other teams that are going to get one are the two, LA, the Lakers and the Clippers, and obviously Toronto. I mean, do you even give it a 10% chance that they can somehow convince him to be a Knick?
Ah, man, honestly, myself, I don't think there's I don't think there's a 10% chance that they can convince him to be a Knick.
But you gotta admit this. If you
that's my opinion.
I agree with you, but I feel like I've been told I've never sold a car in my life. I'm in health insurance now. I'm a retired police officer, but I've been told I could probably be a good salesman if I tried. I feel like if you sat him down with the right people in the room, you bring in a guy like Clyde Frazier, you don't go all, glitzy. You stay more straight up, talk truth. And you say to him, look, you just won a title in another country. That puts you at a pretty legendary status already. If you were to follow that up in a year or two and bring a title back to New York, you are talking about, and plus he's won a title and been an MVP in San Antonio, that would make his career one of legend. I mean,
that's true.
San Antonio.
That's very true.
And if you convince them, let's also sign KD and give him a year off. Well, that could be insane. And imagine the impact he would have, because he is just a workman, like doesn't talk crap, just plays his game. Yeah. Pain or not, I mean, you could see him out there some of the games in this series. That man was limping. He didn't whine. He just played. If he spent a year, if he was just sitting there for the next year and a half while KD was recovering, and he was just took Barrett under his wing, he could do so much for him.
You might be right, man. We'll see. I'm hoping that. I mean, you get to sit down. Once you get to sit down, I guess there's always a chance. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call, Sandy.
Yes, I'll definitely be calling again. I'm definitely a big fan of you. So have a great evening. Be safe.
Thank you, man. Have a great evening.
Thanks.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah. Real quick, I see some people wanted to hear again about the Pelicans and that number 2 draft pick. All right, so let's take a look at that again real quick. All right, the Pelicans are interested in the number 2 pick so that they can get RJ Barrett and team him up with Zion Williamson. And this is from the New York Post by Mark Berman. The Pelicans' new draft plan could allow Ja Morant to fall to the Knicks. Here's what it is. According to an NBA source, the New Orleans Pelicans explored moving back to gain more assets and also had internal talks about moving up to the 2nd pick to take Memphis's selection and draft RJ Barrett to the team with his Duke compadre Zion Williamson. Barrett and Williamson are best friends. So basically, the Pelicans would have had talks about taking the 4th pick, trading it to Memphis with some other assets so that they can get the 2nd pick. And with that 2nd pick, they draft RJ Barrett. So, that's, I guess, an internal discussion that they've had. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know if there's going to be much to it, but it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Listen, folks. RJ says, Sim, what about Cousins at $12K, $12 million to the Knicks? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not crazy about Cousins with the way the game is. I don't know if Cousins is going to be. I don't know. I'm not crazy about DeMarcus Cousins. In my opinion, I'm not crazy about DeMarcus Cousins. I guess $12 million isn't that bad. $12 million isn't that bad. I do not think he's going to be back in Golden State though. I think they're gonna move on from Golden State. I don't think he's gonna be back in Golden State. $12 million isn't that bad. You know, it's not too bad. Let me get you a phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hello?
Hello, what's good?
All right. Yo, this is Ryan. Yo, I just wanted to reiterate back on what you're saying about Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Randle is a player that, because I've talked about this, you know, I've talked about this before, and Randle's a player that would definitely be good for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Be a real good guy. But Russell, I'm not too sure about Russell because, I mean, he's young.
Yo,
do
me a favor. Can you turn that down in the back? Turn that down in the back because I can hear echo, man. If you can turn that all the way down.
Now, back to what I was saying, right? Now, Russell, I don't like his shooting percentage.
I agree with you.
If his shooting percentage was higher, I could deal with that. But I don't know about Russell, though. I really don't know about Russell. But, you know, who knows? Maybe that could improve and get better. But, Randle, I didn't feel he would be good for the Knicks.
You said,
and and with the about the Pelicans wanting the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Man.
They trying to.
First, I wasn't too sure about RJ Barrett, but hell, I done got sold on him now. And
right.
The whole thing now, Pelicans might want to get that number 2 pick. You know what I'm saying? They get that number 2 pick, then they would take RJ Barrett. Right. I would say this, and if they get that number 2 pick, then I'd rather know. I mean, John Moran is a good player and all. His game is nice, but I don't know. I would be considering maybe trading that 3rd pick. Considering it.
Right.
Not
right. Now, I listen. Well, I like Ja Morant. So I don't know. I would. You'd have to figure out what you're gonna do. Just like if you would have gotten D'Angelo Russell, right? You would have to figure out what you're gonna do with Dennis Smith Jr. and all that. I like Ja Morant though, so I would take Ja Morant if the Pelicans ended up getting that 2nd pick and they drafted RJ Barrett. I'd go ahead and take Ja Morant. I don't have no problem with him.
Yeah.
I don't have no problem with him.
He's with his
But you're not the only person that feels that way.
But you know, he can bounce back from that and be 100%.
Yeah. That's the thing. But I think the surgery that he got on his knee was just kind of cleaning it out. Right? It wasn't like he had a bad injury. It was cleaning out some debris that was around his knee. So yeah, I think he'll be all right. Let me get to the video chat, man. We're getting down to the last. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, man. I'm gonna take one more phone call, then we're gonna get to the video chat, and we're gonna call this one tonight. All right, caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. First and foremost, I wanted to thank you for doing this. This is pretty cool that you get a forum like this. Secondly, I just wanted to jump right into it. Defense. We can't get anywhere without it. How are we doing on defense, in your opinion? I wanted to be specific with that. I like Frank. I think we need pieces like that. But you were talking about before the way the rules are set up, the team defense. How do we go about getting that good pick and roll defense? How do we go? We got Mitchell Robinson, and we know he's the future, period. How do we go about getting that defense and locking?
Yeah, it's got. I mean, you always got to have good on-ball defenders. So it's not like you don't need good on-ball defenders, but you got to have a scheme and know what you're doing. I think a lot of times this season with the Knicks, I didn't feel like they always knew how they wanted to defend those pick and rolls. I didn't feel like they always knew when they wanted to switch, who they wanted to switch on, why they were switching when they were defending that pick and roll. And then communication. Communication is the biggest key. You got to have good communication on defense. You got to be able to talk. You got to, you got to have the scheme, and then you got to be able to talk.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
you got to know, you got to understand when your rotation is, right? So it's not just about, everybody looks at defense and thinks it's just about, can I guard my man? Can I stop my man from going to the basket? Can I stop my man from doing this and that? Defense is so much more than that. You got to understand this man because people are going to get beat in the NBA no matter what. People are getting beat.
Yes, sir.
Right? You got to understand this guy got beat, so I got to help. And then someone got to help the helper. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We did a lot of complaining about Enes Kanter and his pick and roll defense, and it wasn't all Enes Kanter's fault. A lot of times, Enes Kanter would go out to guard, hedge the guard that was coming off the screen. There was supposed to be a back guy that would cheat over so that when Kanter's man rolled to the basket, they were there to defend it. A lot of times that back guy didn't cheat over, and stop Kanter's man from rolling to the basket until Kanter could recover. Yeah. So there's a lot of team stuff that has to come into playing defense. It's not just, can you stop your man?
So with second follow-up question with that, you just said there's a lot of things that go into that. We have some young guys. I feel really, really good about these young guys. I feel really, really good about the front office. And I get that heavy is the head that holds the crown with Fizdale. He has a lot of things that he has to take care of. But sometimes when I watch the defense out there, would you partially say that's to blame on him as the head coach? Or would you say, hey, it's 50-50, it's a new system, he's a new coach, these are new players, they got to get to know each other? Where does the rubber meet the road? Where does the buck stop when it comes to responsibility and authority on defense, would you say?
Well, the buck has to stop with David Fizdale, but I think a part of it did come from, we had some turnover throughout the season. So, now you got new players that got to get to know each other. And then there wasn't a leader on the floor. You still got to have a leader out there on the floor, offensively and defensively. So you got to have a guy that's barking out instructions and telling people, where to be, what to do on the defensive end. If somebody, if there's a certain scheme that you have defensively, you might not always hear the coach. You got to have that defensive anchor that's able to call out that scheme. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes,
For example,
do you think about bringing him back because of that?
I definitely think about bringing DeAndre Jordan back. For the right price, if we can afford him. I got to see what happens in free agency. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And then if we can, we get him at the right price, I definitely think about bringing him back. But you got to have a guy that's able to kind of facilitate the defense out there. Got to have someone that can do it and keep everybody on a string working together. It's hard to do that. It's hard to find the guys that can do that, but that's what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I had. I appreciate you. I don't want to take up too much time. I know you got to juggle a lot of different things.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the break from just free agency, man. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I prefer we just grow it organically. I got to be honest with you. I'm still a young Knicks fan, but I've never seen us win. I want us to hedge our bets, like you were saying earlier, and we develop these young guys, and the cream of the crop will rise, or they won't last in New York very long.
There it is.
That's just the simple facts.
I got you. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, have a good morning, bro.
All right, man. Peace. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Peace.
All right, man. We coming down to the end, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot of people on here with me, and I appreciate you guys for being here with me. If you're still on, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You get notified anytime that I'm live. Drop a video. Post in my community section. We're talking off season. It's the off season, and I'm gonna keep you updated with everything that's going on. So please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you can stay updated with everything that's happening in off season. And guys are getting tired, you know what I mean, and falling asleep and all kinds of stuff here in the video chat. Come on over, and we're gonna get this thing. We're gonna end this out for the night. You know what I mean? We got these last words, ladies and gentlemen. Last words for the night. Nate, I'm coming to you, bro.
Hey, man, what's going on?
I'm good.
Just kind of to piggyback on what you talked about with, adding D'Angelo Russell and Randle. Hey, man, I think it's a good idea. I thought about it, and I said, you know what? You pay $20 million to each one of those guys, and you put them on 3-year deals, so that means they can get another deal later and see if they prove themselves to be all-stars after that 3-year deal. And if they are, then you re-sign them. But if they aren't, then they can go somewhere else. So you're not locked into a huge too many years on a contract. But I mean, you bring those two dudes in, the Knicks are a playoff team with the roster they have now. I really do believe it. I mean, I feel like we'll fight for the 8th seed. Maybe higher, just depending on how they all play together. But you're talking about a young nucleus. You get rid of DSJ, which Russell is a total upgrade over DSJ. I don't care what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's younger, but Russell's healthier. He plays better. He's more of an alpha dog. He passes the ball. I mean, so you upgrade that point guard position completely. And then you bring in Randle, who we have no 4 guy right now. So you completely upgrade that position. And then you don't jeopardize any of your young assets.
Yeah.
And you still got money.
And you still got money.
You got $30 million, man. And hey, I like your plan, man. Go for Kawhi. Shoot for the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Go for Kawhi. Give him his meeting. Impress him and say, hey, man, we got a plan to maybe bring in some other players to play with you. And you already got young assets on this team. So, I mean, if you don't want to do it, then that's cool. We go get Randle and Russell for short deals and pay about $20 million a year. And, we keep that $30 million and, hold on to it or whatever. I mean,
do something. Yeah, I feel you, man. Well, we'll see how it works out. Of course, there'd be competition for Randle and Russell. So, but we'll see how it works out. I think the Knicks are thinking probably in a similar fashion. We'll see.
Yeah. I think the only thing that worries me, Sim, is if Memphis does trade with the Pelicans for Barrett, that's gonna really screw us over.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
I'm with you. I would take John Moran, but man, I don't care what anybody says, man. Those knee injuries worry me because they always can turn into something worse later, and we don't want anything for a young guy like that.
Yeah.
Just for his career, but also too as a Knick. So, that would really put up a huge debate. If we take him, or do we trade down, or do we trade the pick?
I think you take him, man. I'm taking him. But, yeah. Hey, but Nate, I'm gonna let you go, man, because I'm.
All right, man. See you Thursday.
All right, appreciate it. Actually, yes, Thursday. Yeah, I'll be on Thursday.
Okay, see you Thursday.
All right. And just real quick before I get to the rest of these last words, the schedule for this week coming up. I will not be on Wednesday. Remember, I will not be on Wednesday. You might get a video, but I won't be live. But I will be on live Thursday at 6:30 for the draft. You got that? I will not be on Wednesday. I will be on live Thursday at 6:30 for the draft. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to Mighty Knicks. Thank you for the super chats. Yes, I said that with a plural. He said, how is Randle any better than O'Quinn? Yeah. Marty, come on, man. Just go take a look at it. Then he said, y'all want another Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cantor situation? I think it'd be pretty much different than those two guys. I think so. And then you said, I don't want the Lakers trash for $20 million. I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you what. Those two guys together had the Lakers winning 38 games when they had been in the league for like 2 years. They were in the league for like 2 years, and they had the Lakers winning 38 games out in the West. 33, 38 games. You look at what we had, we won 17 games in the East with what we had. You know, I don't think those guys are actually trash, my friend. Randle's not trash, in my opinion. Randle's not trash, not at all. But everybody's welcome to their opinion. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. All right, let's get back to it. I'm asking you guys, try to keep it like 30 seconds if you can. All right. Alir, you want to give us some last words, man?
I don't got no last word, man. I'm thinking about suicide right now. If we don't get anybody free agency.
Don't think about that. You can't be in the same bucket as Mark. We can't have two guys up in here talking like that.
No, I'm just saying, man. It's been crazy. It's been a long time for us, man. It's been a long time, man.
I feel you.
It's been a long time, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping on. Make sure you join us again, man.
All right, man. I will, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, peace. Ernesto, it's on you, bro. Give me just like 30 seconds for the last words, man.
Yeah, sure. All I got to say to all Knicks fans out there is that to not get invested in none of these players, whether they're draft prospects or free agents. Just don't get invested in them because we don't know what the hell's going to happen. We don't know. You know, the summer hasn't even started for us, and already it went all downhill with the injuries to KD. So
yeah,
I mean, just don't get invested in none of these players, man.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. I definitely agree with you because you don't know what might happen. Yeah. All right, man. All right. Well, I'll be on Thursday for the draft, man. 6 Thursday. 6:30. All right. Later.
I'll be on, bro. Peace.
Peace. All right. Let me get to Mark because Mark is up here looking like a busted Ralph Tresvant, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Looking all in the camera. What's up, Mark, man? Give me some last words, bro.
That was funny, Sam. But, bro, I'm stressed out now because Pelicans trying to strong arm the whole league right now. They're trying to trade up into the draft. If that happened, I'm going to be on suicide watch. I will be on suicide watch. So just letting y'all know because I don't want Morant because cleaning out your knees, it's okay. But at his size, it scares me, bro.
Yeah.
It scares me. Other than that, man, on God, I hope that we get RJ because I'm starting to warm up to him because, you know, he could do a lot. He's a big guy and he'll cover a lot of stuff that we need. You know, he could defend. You know, he can handle the ball. If honestly, Sam, we draft him, I'm going to next year giving him the rock and let him play a little bit of point guard.
Well, yeah, you got to, right?
Tell you the truth. But if Pelicans try to do what they do, I'm trading that pick. I'm sorry. I'm trading that. I'm trading that to get to Atlanta. You either give me Cam Reddish or if Kova's still there, just give me those two athletic wings with talent that could, you know, that have tremendous upside at the end of the day. So, you know, it's still a win-win situation because with Morant, he could be good, but he could also bust hard. So that's another thing everybody got to think about because he's only 6'2". So y'all think about that.
Yeah.
It's not a for sure thing with him.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch that for sure, man.
Yeah, he
Pelicans trying to take, yo, Griffin is over there trying to do some things, man. We got to watch that guy.
Yeah, he don't care. He doing what he doing.
Yeah, he's trying to do some things. All right, man, Mark.
All right, see y'all Thursday.
All right, man. Thursday, 6:30.
Peace out.
Peace. All right, Ant.
Oh, man, Mark had to talk me down and all that, man. I don't know what's good with him. But
Mark.
You know what? I came to the conclusion, man, tonight that Knicks fans, no matter what Scott Perry and Steve Mills do, half the fan base is just not going to be happy. So whether we give KD the max, you're going to have people calling for their heads. If we pay guys like Angelo Russell, Julius, we're going to have people calling for their heads. If we don't do nothing, we're going to have people calling for their heads. So, man, I don't know, man. Knicks fans, y'all just a special breed, man. I don't know, man. I hope guys like Isaiah, man, and I hope y'all make up your mind soon. You know, come up with a plan that y'all be happy with. And you know, we'll see what happens. But half of the chat is gonna be killing them regardless. So
as soon as a move happens, it's gonna be blowing up in here, and people it's gonna be all over the place. Watch.
Yeah, people are gonna be crying and
it's gonna be crazy.
You know, selling their fandom again. But you know, man, we'll be all right, man.
All right, man. I'll catch you Thursday night.
All right, bet.
All right, peace. And Isaiah. What up, man?
You know what, son?
What's going on,
I'm
man?
a man. I know when I take a whooping. I know when I get some whooping. I know. You got me today. I'm not gonna lie. You got me. But what I won't allow
every once in a while, you know, it just gotta happen. You know what I mean?
Look, hey, sometimes you gotta whoop your son. You gotta whoop your son. So that he knows.
It's gotta happen sometimes, you know.
Look, but what I'm not gonna let happen is this chat. This chat is gonna try to get at me. They hyping you up, son. Oh, get him, Sam. School him, Sam. He don't know what he talking about, Sam. Do them, Sam. Listen, I will beat any of these old dudes' asses in this stuff, man. Don't be. Listen, I can cook, but I can whoop ass too. Don't be. Listen, Sam. I just can't wait for everybody to see me whoop you in basketball. It's gonna solve all this. Ain't nobody gonna be hyping you up.
Back to this.
Ain't nobody gonna listen.
You just said when we were in our little conversation earlier, you said I don't play ball.
Listen, that was the throw you off.
Yeah, all right.
Look, man, right. I'm playing. I'm in your head already. You don't even understand this.
All right.
I'm in your head.
Find out. We'll see. It's gonna be live too. Watch. It's gonna be live.
Oh, I can't listen, Sim. I'm not. Listen, I know we talked. I know we got a certain date. I'm not gonna reveal it yet. When it comes around that time, I'm gonna reveal it. I want everybody to log on and watch Isaiah versus Sim.
All right. Well, I hope
the ages.
Yeah, well, I hope you're hitting Planet Fitness. Hope you're hitting Planet
Fitness.
We
don't do Planet Fitness over here, man.
Oh, right.
We on the blacktop.
I'm talking about from now until then. I hope you hitting Planet Fitness, trying to get in shape.
I'm in the gym every day, baby. I lift weights. That's what I do.
Okay, all right.
I bench 225, man. What you bench?
Ain't got nothing.
You can have a bench off.
That don't got nothing to do with the basketball game. But anyway, man, give me your last words, man. Give me your last words, because I'm getting out of here.
Man, this is
I got basketball camp in the morning.
Hey, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man. But no, real talk though, man. You know, I'm proud of you some all the time, man. How many people? I'm looking at it. We still got 500 and something people in here, man.
Yeah, we got five something still.
It's still
appreciate
crazy,
them,
man.
I appreciate
keep doing what
them,
you're
man.
doing. Everybody, you know, me and Sim joke. This is like my pops, man. Even though he don't claim me, even though I wrote him Happy Father's Day, he ain't text me back until like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, dude, that's weird.
I mean,
but that's
I can't.
Right. We don't gotta
listen, I can't claim you on my taxes, so you know.
Are you doing the front stoop too on Thursday or
Wednesday?
You just doing the draft?
I'm gonna do the front stoop on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I'm gonna do the draft.
Bet, man. Everybody, man, hop on the front stoop, man. Y'all missing it, man. I know it's gonna build up, but y'all missing it, man. It's really good on the front stoop.
Yeah.
We talking hip hop, we talking culture, we talking real talk, and I'm not always joking on the front stoop, man. I say that I'm not always joking.
Yeah,
I'm saying
true. Sometimes we get some serious stuff.
I'm saying some serious stuff sometimes, man. Catch it, man. Or you gonna catch these hands. Either one is gonna hit you. But Sim, keep doing what you're doing, man. Listen, we're gonna reveal that date soon. It's gonna come. Everybody, I'm gonna whoop his ass in basketball, and then that's how it's gonna be.
All right. I'm gonna let you get some rest. Cause you delusional, so I'm gonna let you get some rest, man.
Listen, I ate the shrimp. I'm a little tired, man. I'm a little tired.
All right, man. All right, later.
All right, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah, he's something else. That's my guy, though. But anyway, I'm out. Again, Thursday night. We'll be on Thursday night, 6:30 for the draft. The draft starts at 7:30. We'll be on 6:30. Then a little bit after the draft, we'll talk some more after the draft, just about, whatever happened in the draft. All right. So we're going to have a draft special on Thursday, 6:30. Make sure you're here. And in the meantime, if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. You can be notified anytime that I go live. I'm going to keep you updated all off season. All right. Anything you want to say, man, leave it in the comments. Just leave it in the comments. And we will, we'll discuss it in the comments. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2:30 in the morning. Right, 2:34. I got to get up tomorrow morning for basketball camp. Basketball camp starts at 9 o'clock. So I will talk to you guys very soon. I appreciate you guys for staying with me as we talk Knicks and just get crazy sometimes. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great work week, and I will see you on Thursday, 6:30. Peace.